Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a Penske fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 920 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say this morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Mikey, how you be, man?
I am doing fantastic, good sir. I'm happy to be here.
Things to talk about today. We do got stuff. We got people on the move in the NFL. We have we actually have a lot of things going on today. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Did we get any resolve with the two different horizontal layouts on the videos, Mike? Or is that
yeah. We're streaming it in just one horizontal.
Is there no vertical?
There's no vertical today.
It was starting to grow on me, and then
I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back for Friday.
Well, then it went rogue. I started to like it.
You started to like it. I'll bring it back, baby. I will bring it back.
All right. Good morning to Just Learning. He says Rodgers has a fake wife. Good morning, everybody. Mike, good afternoon as well, depending on where you be. Mike, before we do get started, I thought of something the other day. If you were an 80s or 90s kid, you may know this answer. But I just figured I want to ask it just because I just think that it's something that I pondered upon the other day.
Okay.
Do you remember what commercial that used this tagline was for? This is the book that got Bubba cooked. This is a book that got Bubba cooked. Do you remember what that was for back in the day?
I have no idea what that would be for.
Let me try this. This is the book that got Bubba cooked.
No idea whatsoever.
It was for the Yellow Pages. It was I don't know if it's the guy that does the Darth Vader voice. It was one of them famous black actors with that real deep voice.
Yeah.
And I think it was the guy that did Darth Vader's voice. But when we were kids, there was a running. I mean, it went on for years and years with this Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages phone book. And it was that was the tagline. This is the book that got Bubba cooked. And then it would show a picture of a guy, and I was like, this is the man that ran an ad in the book that got Bubba cooked. And then it went through this whole thing, and it was a commercial. Again, the other day, I wonder if anybody remembers that. Something, again, from my childhood. That and sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. It looks like it was James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. That's the guy. Yes. Yeah. This is the book that got Bubba cooked. So, yeah. Just reliving a little bit of my childhood. Good afternoon, everybody. Howdy. Howdy to Somber. How you doing, brother? Always great seeing Somber on the terrible board, Mike. Before we do get started, we do have a lot of things to talk about, but I want to toot our own horn for a moment.
Okay.
Thank you, John. That is definitely it. Yes. This is the book that got Bubba cooked. This is the man that ran an ad in the book that got Bubba cooked. I figured
the two old heads would know that reference right away.
Listen, you're only a year younger than me. I thought you're like 5 years younger than me. Then the other day you're like, no, I'm like 45. I thought, shit. But this, I want to take a moment.
Still younger, baby.
Just to pat ourselves on the back a little bit and maybe give a little bit of recognition in where it is due. Mike, of course, we talk about some of the prominent people here in Pittsburgh who talk sports, and we talk about sometimes when they make predictions. Sometimes they're a little ridiculous. This is probably going to happen within 10 to 12 days. Well, I just want to give special thanks to somebody new on the crew. One of the new guys, Mike. We do have our new crew of the draft crew, and over the weekend, coming into the week, RB says to me, he gets a hold of me and he says, I got inside scoop. I'm like, what's up? He was like, Jonnu Smith, his paperwork is already going across the legal desk, and he is going to be gone in the next 2 to 3 days. Nobody else was talking about this. I looked in every source I could find, and sure enough, 2 to 3 days later, Jonnu Smith was released. So again, I want to give a big shout out to RB. Mike, he's in the running. He's way in the lead for Rookie of the Year at this point, but it's still early.
Still early.
But the new additions to the show are being chopped. I think they're going to be a great asset to the show, Mike, as this scoop that nobody had. We were already talking about on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I got to give him credit because, again, I listen. I don't listen, but people tell me that people here on local radio make these predictions all the time, and I read on social media. And again, 10 to 12 days doesn't mean anything.
No.
Apparently, when it comes out of the reliable sources here in Pittsburgh, and our rookie, Mike, our
rookie
leader for the Rookie of the Year, as of this point, again, we still have a ways to go, but had us reporting that Jonnu Smith's paperwork was crossing the desk and he was going to be done in 2 to 3 days, and just like that,
gone
in 2 to 3 days.
Can we get news on Derpy's paperwork being turned into the league and being terminated with us in 2 to 3 days?
So there you go. I do want to just again give that shout out to our man. I'm excited. Again, these guys are bringing a lot to the table. I'm excited to get them more involved, and that won't be too far off, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, again, wherever you be back. Welcome back to episode 920 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We do have a lot to get into, Mike.
Yeah,
we do have a lot to get into. Let's get to the board, Mike. I just want to kind of stay ahead early.
Yeah.
And then if we get going and I get far behind, let me go right here. I'm going to start at the very beginning. Just Learning says Rodgers has a fake wife. Somber says, howdy, Somber. How are you, sir? Steeler Freak John, what's up, my man? He says James Earl Jones, and that is exactly who I was hunting for. Somber says, go the distance. Go for speed. All alone. In the time of need.
All alone.
Tyrone says JPJ to go. What's up, brother? Always great seeing Tyrone on the terrible board. My man, hopefully everything is going well for you, sir. Corey, what's up, dude? From Don't Drink That. He says, hey, what's up? I'm already sick of the Aaron Rodgers shit. If he's going to pull the same shit as last season, then just let him walk. He's playing games at this point, it seems. You know what? I thought that things were going a little bit better as well with Rodgers as far as scoop and keeping in touch and just information within. Some comments yesterday makes you wonder. It doesn't quite seem like it's as good as it was. And that's going to make things a little bit more interesting, I think. Again, with a lot of stuff getting ready to happen around the NFL within the next few days. Again, today's Thursday. Monday starts the tampering period. And then less than a week, of course, is free agency on Wednesday at 4 o'clock p.m. So it's a valid point to feel concerned, I think, at this point. Steeler Freak John says there is a POD canister in front of No Job Smith's apartment today.
He's calling two guys in a truck.
Corey says this. He says, congrats on the opportunity, guys. It's awesome to see your show. Hey, man, we appreciate it. And you too. And don't get me wrong. Jeez, oh, man, the content that Corey puts out over there. If you love conspiracy theories, I would get over there right now because, again, so much stuff, a little bit for everybody, no matter what kind of conspiracies you follow. Let's go to Tortilla Jackson, my man all the way from Sacramento. He says this. Yeah, I'm praying we don't re-sign Rodgers. So, okay, Field of Dreams. Gotcha, Somber, my man. Just Learning said there's a rumor that Rodgers is in the closet. I don't care, but interesting. And not that there's anything wrong with that. John says Ryan's burp woke up my Chihuahua. That's all, dude. I always wanted a Chihuahua. If I ever had a dog, I always said it would be a Chihuahua or a wiener dog. I need something peculiar and small. And if I ever get a dog, but
peculiar and small and wieners.
Yeah. That don't describe me in a nutshell. John Ugon, it's Christmas. That's right, baby. And again, RB, the newest guy on the crew, he gave us this information early Monday morning and said that his paperwork was already going across the legal desk. And John Smith will be gone in 2 to 3 days. And sure as anything, Mike, scoop from RB before anybody in the Pittsburgh media even peeped a word of anything about John Smith.
Yeah.
So again, big shout out to the leading rookie of the year at this point, Mike, the candidate, RB. Great job, brother. Looking forward to a lot of great things ahead. Corey says this, there's nothing with being in the closet, but it sounds pretty gay.
Is he trapped in the closet with Tom Cruise?
Maybe. All right, guys, let's get into some stuff. What do we? Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike, former Pirate Andrew McCutchen is going to the Texas Rangers.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Speculation. Is he going to retire? Of course, the Pirates went out and got some bats, so there's no room for Andrew at this point. He goes on, Mike. He's going to the Texas Rangers moving ahead. So that is going to be interesting for him, and hope and wish him all the best, Andrew McCutchen in Texas, Mike. Pittsburgh Pirates are back at it today. They play the Cardinals at 1:05 after having a day off. The Pirates are 10-2, leading the whole entire majors in spring training. And also, Mike, the Penguins. The Penguins come in with a 31-16-13 record. They're back at it today, and they host the Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7 o'clock.
Let's go, Pens.
Let's do this. So many things to get into today, guys. I want to get this information out there again. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the registration, I don't know if anybody else caught this during the day, if anybody caught this on the internet, but the registration information of the draft is out, Mike. And if you are interested or thinking about going to the draft, especially if you're coming from out of town, Mike, it can be a chore to plan for. So this might be something that you want to think about, guys. Fans can now register for free entry to the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh by downloading the NFL One Pass app or visiting NFL.com/draft access. You can get in now and register for free entry, guys. So again, if you're coming in, you don't want to be standing at the door finding out that it might cost you a lot more than you expected when you could get registered right now for free, guys. Again, at NFL One Pass app or at NFL.com/draft access. Get on and get that done. If you plan on coming to town, or if you are in town and you're planning to get down to the North Shore, Mike, it's going to be on multiple fronts. It's going to be at the Point National Park, and it's also going to be on the North Shore. So this means it's going to bleed right over the bridge. It's going to be a lot of fun. So many people are going to be down there. Again, expecting over 500,000 people. Crazy times coming ahead. But also, I do have some more scoop on the draft itself. This is some information that came out yesterday about the draft experience, in case you're wondering. Let's see. The NFL Draft Experience is the league's interactive football theme park. will be in 2 locations in the North Shore campus and the Point State Park. The league just revealed more of what will be at the Immersive Festival. The draft, let me scoot over here. This is what's going to be there, Mike. These are going to be some things you could do. Interactive exhibits and sponsor activations. Engage with special activations, including an opportunity to kick a field goal, run the 40-yard dash, participate in catching skills, earn free prizes and NFL Hall of Fame exhibits, creating hands-on football experiences for fans. Also, you'll be able to there's a player meet and greet opportunity, get autographs and interact with current NFL stars and legends. The full schedule of players' appearances will be available exclusively on the NFL One Pass app that you could register with. Also, Mike, photo ops and memorabilia capture memorable moments with the iconic Vince Lombardi trophy, all 59 Super Bowl rings, and discover exclusive NFL merchandise at the NFL shop. Also, local food and culture spotlight, Mike. Food and beverage vendors will showcase local fare with concessions representing various cuisines and iconic restaurants in Pittsburgh and across Pennsylvania. Finally, Acrisure Stadium access and on-field activations, Mike, during the draft weekend. Acrisure Stadium will be open to fans looking to view the the NFL draft and the experience exclusive activations inside the stadium and on the field itself. Steelers Country serves as Pittsburgh Steelers official fan destination during the 2026 draft at Point State Park, celebrating unique traditions of Steeler Nation and creating a centralized space for fans to gather, engage, and experience draft weekend together. So there you go, Mike. There's some information about the draft. There's going to be a lot going on, and you know what? There better be a lot going on for the amount of people that's going to be in town. One more thing. There will also be an opportunity for fans to enjoy the Draft Entertainment Series free live performances at the Draft Theater. The headlining acts will be announced in the coming weeks. So there you go. A lot going on in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a big weekend. Next month, guys. Next month, it's already on its way.
There's going to be a lot going on down there. And it's so easy. I literally just registered for it right now.
There you go. Look how easy that was. Mike literally just got on and registered. One more time, I'm going to give the information, Mike, just so anybody that wants to do that can do that. And again, if you are coming from out of town, you might want to get on this early, guys, just because, again, you don't want any F-ups and you don't want to have any problems when you get here, especially if you're making the trek into town. Again, fans can now register for free entry to the NFL Draft in 2026 in Pittsburgh by downloading the NFL One Pass app or visiting NFL.com/draft access. Get on, guys. Do your thing. We want to see everybody in Pittsburgh next month. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be down there. There's going to be beer. There's going to be a draft. All kind of things. Hope you can make it into town. Let me jump on the board again, Mike, and then we're going to get into some topics here. I don't want to get too far behind, so let's do this right here where Corey, don't drink that, says this. He says there's nothing with being in the okay, we did get that. Sounds pretty gay. Also, John says Brokeback Rodgers. Tortilla, my man. He says Roger tackled Rodgers into the closet. Chad Schrader, what's up, man? Always great seeing Chad on the terrible board. Chad says, what's up, Brian and Mike? And here we go, Steelers. Here we go. That's right, baby. That's right. Because it's March, don't mean nada. It is always here we go, Steelers. And as I said, Mike, I think this spring they might soften the blow for us with our other professional teams. I'm not holding my breath, but us here in Pittsburgh, I'm excited about the Pirates. I'm excited about the Penguins postseason. But you know what? The topic is always the Pittsburgh Steelers right here, baby. Welcome back, Chad. Always great seeing you, brother. Corey, don't drink that, says maybe Brojo is also in the closet. Maybe Brojo is also in the closet. He lets a lot of guys into his backfield. The crowd is they're crazy today, Mike. They're crazy.
Hey, they are on fire.
What's up, Mike Kara? Oh man, haven't seen your name for a while on the terrible board. Nice to see you. Welcome back. He says, of course, he's not holding the Steelers hostage. He's under no contract. They offered him nothing. He's a free agent. Any rational person will see that the options are going what the options are going forward after the draft. Absolutely. But I mean, the fact of the matter is we don't have an answer from him. Of course, he's not holding us hostage. There's no guns involved. There's no crime involved. But at the end of the day, we have to figure out what we're going to do. We have to figure out how we're going to tackle free agency in just a couple days. And wouldn't having that information about Aaron Rodgers make things a little simpler? Just kind of trying to put pieces and parts together for this team again, figuring out where money goes, everything else. But of course, he's not holding us hostage. That would be silly.
I think he is.
Tortilla says, resign Rodgers, bring in Jerome Ford as wide receiver 2. Tyrone, my man, he says, I'm excited for the draft. I am too, bro. I can't wait to hang out, man. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a blast. Can't wait to see everybody. John says this, Rodgers isn't as exciting this year. The fans know he can't win the Super Bowl, and they will be bullshitted, and they can be bullshit. Can't be bullshitted this time. I'm sorry, John is saying. RB, my man, no, it's all good, brother. He says, hey, guys, sorry I was late on the phone with my source, DJ Moore, going to Buffalo. I did see that, and I do want to throw you a little accolade. RB, you are the man, and you are the front runner for the Rookie of the Year for the crew this year, as he did have the scoop on Jonnu Smith 2.5 days before anybody knew anything was coming. I mean, listen, the writing was on the wall, but as far as known information, confirmed information, RB did on Monday. He said, guys, the paperwork is on the table at the legal department, and Jonnu Smith will be gone in the next 2 to 3 days. Nobody was talking about this. I mean, people again speculated he wasn't coming back. And again, within 2 to 3 days, RB nails it. Clutch. Jordan. Kobe. Congratulations, my man. RB really putting in the work. I'm super excited about the job he's doing. RB, give yourself a pat on the back, because again, this is information that the radio stations don't do. They give timelines that never happen. 10 to 12 days never happens. But again, RB, congrats, brother. Looking forward to a lot of good, fun work together moving forward. Let's get back on the board here. I'm going to go to I'm going right here. I thought I was going right there. Oh, there we go. Danny Bowling. What's up, man? Always great seeing Danny Bowling on the terrible board. He says, hope Rodgers retires. He moves like a tree stump, and we need a mobile quarterback. And you know what? If that's what you're looking for, too, as well, Danny, I mean, there's ample mobile quarterbacks. And I'm thinking about this, Mike, last night. Any number of these guys that we keep hearing, the Malik Willises and the Anthony Richardsons and the Kyler Murrays, I'm thinking, after thinking a lot long and hard about Aaron Rodgers, just kind of being a pain in the ass, and if this is going to draw things out, again, it's kind of an ideal situation with him and Mike McCarthy getting back together. But if he's going to play around, Mike, what would it hurt to bring in one of these mobile quarterbacks to see if that works for us? And here's an interesting number, Mike. If we would decide, and this is just for speculation, this is for shits and giggles, Mike, if the Steelers would, let me find where I have it right here. If the Steelers would, let's just say, bring in Kyler Murray for an example. If they would bring in Kyler Murray, Mike, they would have the cheapest quarterback room in the NFL by far, because Kyler Murray would have a $1.3 million, Howard is a $1.1 million, and Mason Rudolph coming in with a $3 million. Mike, that's $5.4 million we're spending on our quarterback room. Now, again, we're not going to sit here and go, yes, this is a Super Bowl winning quarterback room, but for what it is in the Band-Aid process we've been going through and the kicking the can down the road and waiting for our guy to become available in the draft, Mike, putting one of these guys, again, it's a lot. Here's the thing. Who are you going to get at this point that's any better? I mean, if you're going to go out and, again, you're waiting it out to get to your quarterback and you don't want to spend that much money, maybe try one of these mobile guys and see what yields of it. Because, again, at the end of the day, I don't think our people are really expecting Aaron Rodgers to take this team to the February game. So what would be the harm in maybe bringing in one of these other guys? And at the end of the day, look at our quarterback room. This is why our quarterback situation isn't good. The fact that it could be a $5 million quarterback room. But as I said, if you don't want to go through the Aaron bullshit, which a lot of people are kind of fed up, as I'm seeing after he spoke yesterday on the PMS. So it might not be the worst thing in the world to bring one of these guys in on a year or two, Mike. And like I said, I don't know. There's a lot of options. And again, I know what they're not going to do, but this seems like something along the lines that the Steelers might do. And is that the worst thing in the world?
No, not really, because like I said yesterday, man, we are in that era of bridge quarterbacks, and unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. I'm not, like I said, I would want Kyler Murray a few years ago. Kyler Murray, that 2021 Kyler Murray was playing some really good football. Even far back, it was just 2024. He wasn't playing that bad of football, but he's only played 1, 2, 3 seasons where he's played every single game. So you got major injury concerns there. His completion percentage, he's a career 67% completion percentage on his passes. So that's not bad there. Touchdown to interception ratios, 121-60. Not bad. But he's just so injured. A lot of his plays, do come out of the pocket. He's I don't know if he's going to fit our new system. Like if this guy was 6'2", I'd like him a whole hell of a lot more than 5'10". I'm willing to take a chance on the bigger quarterback who can see over the line. He has shown in his career he's not afraid to sit back in the pocket, take hits. He's shown that he can sit there, do the drops, and just throw piss missiles across the middle of the field. But short quarterbacks who are losing their mobility, who are injury prone, high Russell Wilson version 1.5.
So let me ask you.
It's like we did this.
Let me ask you a question. I understand we did this, but we're in a purgatory. We're in an area, Mike, where we cannot actually fix our problem. We're in an area that we're not willing to go into the draft and do anything because, again, we don't feel that there's anybody that's worth our time in the draft this year beyond maybe the kid from Indiana. So at the end of the day, what do you make of this season? What's this season mean to you? To me, it's unfortunately, it's going to be another bridge season. Unfortunately, I don't expect Mike McCarthy to come in and turn us into a team that goes to the Super Bowl next year. So again, while we were waiting it out, trying to get that quarterback position, again, it's just not out there for us right now. Yeah. What is your suggestion? I'm seeing people say these things on the board. And I'm going to get to them in just a second, but I want to know what your suggestion is then. If these aren't good options, I mean, of course, I from day one, I was never a big fan of Kyler Murray, Malik Willis, or Anthony Richardson. But at the end of the day, should we get a taste of that kind of quarterback? Maybe next year, Chambliss or somebody comes along that does have those abilities, and we look at that and say, okay, well, this really worked well when we used we was using mobile quarterbacks last year. We don't really have nothing to base that off of right now. We have a 43-year-old quarterback who came last year, basically did what we thought he was going to do. So at the end of the day, and again, I'm going to get to some of these messages. What's the answer beyond that? Because the pickings are really slim this year. And at the end of the day, we don't want him. We don't want him. Who do we want? What's the answer for this 1 year between now and next year's draft? When we hope that our quarterback becomes available, and we hope that we're able to get him. Like the pickings are just slim, and that's the thing. There's no good answer to this question on who's going to be the quarterback for the Steelers this year.
No, especially when you have Art Rooney, saying like, "Hey, we're going to want to be competitive." So you're looking at your quarterback situations that you think you can be competitive with are what Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, Kyler Murray. That might be your quarterback list right there of
would people be any more willing to bring in Joe Flacco than one of these three mobile quarterbacks? I'm wondering. Because again, that's another unpopular decision where he could probably come in, be serviceable enough to get done what we've been doing, and keep us right around 500, maybe get us into the playoffs. And but at the end of the day, the answer isn't sitting out there right now, unfortunately.
No.
And again, it was a reminder yesterday, seeing Aaron Rodgers talk on the PMS, saying the things that he said, and I don't have no answer. I'm not making any big decisions today. Blah blah blah. Kind of kicking the can down the road again, even more so. Again, there's no answer. Hold on, Mike Cara, the guy with all the answers that I'm noticing on the board. This guy has all the answers. Let me see what he says. The answer is Rodgers. Mike McCarthy's offense is extremely complex from what I've heard, especially for a quarterback. And you know what? That's probably what's going to be at the end of the day, Mike. And I'm just throwing options out there because, again, at the end of the day, it's going to be what it is. And if we think that Aaron Rodgers is going to come in under Mike McCarthy and take this team to February, I think we're all out of our minds. It's very unlikely. Again, do we have a team that was set in place, kind of like Tampa Bay had a team in place for Tom Brady? I don't know. I don't know. But again, you kind of see how things played out. Maybe, Mike, under the new system, things will be different. But again, Mike on the board is saying that Aaron Rodgers is the answer. Again, what's the other options? Is anything out there even sound relevant, halfway decent? Again, you mentioned Joe Burrow. Maybe could he get the same results? Could he get the same results as Aaron Rodgers? He stands in the pocket. He doesn't have happy feet. Maybe that's a plus. But what else?
Really, like my two that I would take would be of available free agents. As I'm looking at it now, would be Aaron Rodgers and probably Kyler Murray, just to see. Okay, you're getting him dirt cheap, and can you get anything out of him? Can you clean up some of his shortcomings in his game quick enough to get him to where you want this team to get to? I don't think he's going to be the viable long-term solution, but I think he could be here for a year or two. But I think he's only going to want a 1-year deal to prove to the rest of the league that he has something in him. So,
Mike, does he have more to gain by a 1-year deal than Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Because Rodgers is just playing now to, like, maybe just to play football at this point, not to like enhance his legacy. He's already, a 4 or 5 time league MVP, Super Bowl MVP. He's already up there in every major stat point. This is just him just to play football, just to do what he loves to do. For Kyler Murray, he's still youngish. He's like 28 years old. He can still play for another 5-6 years if he wanted to and can stay healthy. So yeah, he's would be the more hungry of the two to get. If you want someone who's hungry, maybe go after Kyler Murray, but knowing Art Rooney and his directive so far that it seems to be in his entire tenure is get me someone safe that can win me a decent amount of regular season games to give me a chance to make the playoffs. So it's feeling like Aaron Rodgers is going to be our quarterback, whether you like it or not, whether you think we should go with a Will Howard, a Malik Willis, or a Flacco, or a Kyler Murray. I think we are literally stuck again with that Aaron being Rodgers, said, unless he decides
any of these arguments should be null, because again, we could all agree, that it's not going to be a Super Bowl season at the end of the day. If it is, thank the heavens above.
I know, right?
But at the end of the day, is it really, when it comes down to it, if it's going to be a guy that's going to be here for a year, maybe 2, like you said, on a Kyler Murray 2-year deal, something like this, it's what's the difference, in other words?
Or do you take the big flyer on a Malik Willis?
Well, I know one thing. I know that the Cleveland Browns, a beat writer up in Cleveland, writes that the Cleveland Browns are looking to pursue Malik Willis because they need more quarterbacks up in Cleveland. Like this, was it Mark? Is it somebody on the board? Like they always say, just keep drafting quarterbacks, get as many quarterbacks, and you eventually run into the one that you like. Well, Cleveland does that, and it's failing terribly up there. They're paying money out to about 20 quarterbacks in the league right now. It's pretty hilarious, and they're still looking to continue, Mike, to grow the quarterback room up in the Mistake by the Lake. So, it might not be such a sure thing when it comes to that idea, but I do want to get back on the board, Mike. We have a lot to get into today. Free agency, there's people on the move. Of course, the big news for the Steelers, Jonnu Smith is released, guys. Yesterday he got released, or is getting on in the process of being released, as we reported Monday. Some of our inside correspondents got that information out while nobody else was talking about this. His paperwork was on the table Monday. In 2 to 3 days, he was to be done. We've announced that, and 2 to 3 days later, he was done. So, again, big shout out to our guy. And also, Jonnu Smith, Mike, down the road, which everybody expected was coming. It's going to save us roughly $7 million against the cap. So there's a little bit more money up for you. But before we do move on back on the board, Mike, I do want to say ESPN's top 100 free agents. There's 5 notable names on there, and listen where they land. Aaron Rodgers is number 47. He is on ESPN's number 47 on ESPN's top 100 free agents. Number 45 is Kenneth Gainwell on the list of ESPN's top 100 free agents. Number 27 is Ciamalo. Isaac Ciamalo is number 27. Number 17, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, 17 on the top 100 free agents according to the NFL. And finally, Mike, the highest graded person of any relevance and notability to us is Malik Willis, coming in at 14. 14. So again, let me go correct ways with this. Malik Willis, 14. Kyler Murray, 17. Isaac Seumalo, 27. Kenneth Gainwell, 45. Aaron Rodgers, 47. All right. With that being said,
take a swing at one of those, one of the two higher rated quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that kind of it puts the thought in your mind where it's okay. Well, if the ESPN is saying that they're have this much more value than Aaron, maybe because again, I don't think anybody's expecting to be playing in February next year. Maybe take a shot with one of these mobiles. Have Will Howard ready to play if injuries happen. Of course, Mason's there. And again, let me say we come around to the draft next year, and the guy that we like is gone, but the next guy that it's available to us, he's a little bit of a mobile quarterback. Wouldn't it be nice to see if a mobile quarterback can work under the Mike McCarthy system in his offense that's complex and everything that we keep hearing, and take a look? Because again, at the end of the day, if you're not expecting to go to the Super Bowl, which I don't think many people are, not next year, what hurts taking a look at a quarterback like this, Mike? Because we've had a bunch of stand in the pocket guys.
Yeah.
But the league, the way that it's going, has a lot more mobility to it. So again, what can it hurt? That's my question. What can it hurt at the end of the day to go that route?
Like we keep saying on the show, worst case scenario. Oh no, we're picking in the top 10, top 5, without having to sacrifice the rest of the roster. We didn't have to blow the team up to get to that situation. We just gambled on a quarterback that didn't work out. And a lot of the fan base wants us to have a bad season to position ourselves to get a new quarterback. So why not take a risk on one of these quarterbacks? And hey, if it works, cool. We found out that this quarterback actually has something, and then we can keep them in the fold. And
You're right,
the
Mark.
team we have constructed right now is rocking and rolling with them. Sweet. We just keep adding to that team. Or you find out, oh no, this guy didn't work, but guess what? Now we're picking in a spot we can actually get one of the quarterbacks we think can be a franchise quarterback, and we'll go draft them and add them into an already good team. It's a win-win situation, which is why I don't think Art Ernie will do it. But again, I just, this is where I'm going to talk myself into Kyler Murray, because I'm just keep looking at his completions percentages throughout his career. Every single season is fucking phenomenal. Like I'm gonna talk myself into him that he can be a viable starting quarterback on a good team.
All right, let's get back on the board. A lot of things going on the board, Mike. I want to get to all of it today. Let me go to right here where John, the Steeler Freak, says this. The lead band at the draft will be the B-52, so I don't expect many Iranians to be there. RB says Chicago and Buffalo have agreed. Yes, Chicago and Buffalo have agreed. DJ Moore is on his way to Buffalo to give Allen another weapon at the wide receiver position, Mike. And then also a little bit about the Patriots releasing Diggs. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later as well. The Ravens, the Steelers have been places of possible landing spots for Stephon Diggs as he's no longer going to be with New England. So that we'll talk a little bit more later. But I do want to get caught up on the board here, guys. Let me go to right here where Somber says Rodgers could pull more than 80% of this chat at age 42. Also, Tortilla says Khan left the lights on, but no one is home. Cody says, what's up, Mikey? What up, guy?
What up?
Hey, Mikey.
There we go. Let's see. Tortilla 80% is very generous. He's saying also Somber. He says it is. Mark Malone says Rodgers and Rooney are just screwing with people. LOL. Corey at Don't Drink That says we don't have a clear path goal until we know who. That's exactly it. So again, knowing information about him, about Aaron Rodgers before free agency, I think would go a long way. Again, just because maybe you're not planning on attacking the free agency pull for quarterbacks initially, at least you know what the hell you are doing and what you can spend and what you can't do. And again, it would be very useful. And again, maybe they do know more than they are leading us on to know for whatever reason. I'm going to go, you know what, let me finish that thought because Corey was saying this. I don't have a clear path. Knowing will help us what to get in free agency. If we pass up on a potential quarterback trade and Rodgers passes on us, then that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something to consider with these other quarterbacks because, what if the Rodgers thing just doesn't, it's a no-go. What if he just doesn't want to do it anymore? What if he just decides, in April that he wants to retire and be done with football? RB says you all need to understand just because you don't know nothing doesn't mean the team doesn't. There is no hostage. The team knows exactly what's going on. And that's the point I was trying to make. I'm sure that I would like to think that they have that information already. And that helps me a little bit get by. But we don't have confirmation. Mark says this. Mark Malone, my man, says RB stole my paint. Aaron Jade, what's up? Always love the message. My man, there he is. RB. I'm sorry, Aaron Jade with his the Rockets mic. Here we go. Steelers. Inter Joe says, why are so many people into Howard? He's a 6th round pick just because I don't think I'd be probably because they never seen him play. If he would have played last year and looked okay, looked shaky, looked like garbage, everyone's still high because there's a chance that he could come out and light it up. And he does have a little bit of a pedigree. He did win a championship. So at the end of the day, there's a certain excitement. And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to be the starter, I want him to start, but I don't know. And nobody knows. So, I think until he could come in and change our mind one way or the other, I think that people they want to see him. Why wouldn't you? We wouldn't expect too much from him. Just let it go, people. And wouldn't this kind of season be a good year for him to get playing time again? I don't know. I'm not buying my Super Bowl tickets just yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are. You already have the mail or the envelope or stamped and all that fun shit, man. You have them ready to go.
Also, Corey, don't drink. That says Fat Bully gives 5 to 14 day windows and is never right. He might as well live next door to act for sure. John says Howard Huggers are the OSU fans, the Howard Huggers. Cody says, you guys remember that when that dipshit said we're going to sign a wide receiver within the next 2 weeks? It's only been 2 years since then, Cody, right?
Yeah.
He said we're going to have our wide receiver in the next 2 weeks. Be ready.
Well, he didn't say which 2 weeks.
Yeah, he didn't say which 2 weeks.
So technically not wrong.
But here we are 2 years later, still without wide receiver 2. Yeah, you know how the media do here. I hope you're still not holding your breath on that. Tortilla says day 700 of the wide receiver to watch. Let's go to Just Learning. He said the bully guy doesn't know anything. And he's the one that's given the most credit in this town. He truly is. It's unbelievable. Cody says I went on his podcast and called him out. He got good. Do it all the time. He needs to hear it. He needs to hear what's up, man.
And send the listeners over here.
Yeah. Drop in say what you got to say and then drop in a derpy. Let's go to my car. He says Anthony Richardson's going to. No, Anthony. Whoa, what was that? Something sounded like it fell. I didn't know if my studio or your studio, but Anthony Richardson, where did it go? No, he's not going to. No, nobody's saying that. See, Mike's on his own level. I don't even know what he's responding to because, again, obviously not listening to what I'm saying, but just taking the initial statement and running with it because I never said that Anthony Richardson is going to win a Super Bowl. I said that we're probably not going to win a Super Bowl. So if we run with Anthony Richardson, we're going to get a look at maybe a different kind of quarterback, what was said. Mark Malone, yes, absolutely. You are 100% right. Justin Fields was a mobile quarterback that I had made a statement. I said, we haven't been trying mobile quarterbacks where Justin Fields would fall into that category. So I do apologize on that. Jeremy Olson, what's up, man? Always great seeing Jeremy Olson. He says, Jeremy Fowler reports the Steelers' plan B is to start Will Howard this year if Rodgers stays in the forest, which listen, if they don't start him, that's fine, but I want to see him. I want to see him play. I mean, some guys just have it. Some guys just don't have it. And sometimes you get a look at somebody like I seen Mason Rudolph early on. And I said, he just doesn't look like he has it. He has the deer in the headlights look. And guess what? 8 years later, he still has the deer in the headlights look. There's some things there's tells. People have tells. And I want to get a look at Will Howard's tells. I want to see, if I believe that he's got a factor. If he doesn't have a factor, again, I think that's only fair. But nice seeing you, Jeremy. Great having you on the board, my man. Always great seeing you on the terrible board. John Steeler Freak says this free agent wide receivers, unless on their last contract, don't want to come to Pittsburgh because of the quarterback room. I agree. I do agree. RB says, I'm tired of hearing about the mobile quarterbacks. They all fizzle out fast. Don't anyone give me Lamar either. Lamar hasn't won shit. Lamar is the quarterback TJ. Stats, tons of money, and can't win shit. And you know what? I wouldn't argue against that. That's always been my argument with Lamar Jackson. Joe says this. He follows it up by saying mobile quarterbacks. Let me see. It scooted on me there a little bit. Mobile quarterbacks don't always have the it factor for your team. Ask Lamar Jackson how that's going. Even if Rodgers doesn't move well, his knowledge is still 10 times better than what's available on our bench. And the thing is, at the end of the day, what if he doesn't come back? I personally think he's coming back. I'm going to be honest. That's just my opinion. I think Aaron Rodgers will be playing for the Steelers this year. I think the Mike McCarthy thing is what sold it. At the end of the day, I think that is why he will be back this year, Mike.
He did say yesterday it takes two to tango. So have we reached out like with a contract offer to him yet or not? Now, that's just what I'm wondering right there. If, he's waiting for the Steelers to present him with a contract or not, or parameters of what their contract to him would be.
Aaron Rodgers indicated yesterday, Mike, that the Steelers are comfortable waiting for him. That tells me that makes me speculate a little bit in my mind that, again, maybe more information has been exchanged than we already know, because again, I don't think anybody with common sense would want to go into this free agency without having an idea of who their quarterback is going to be. So for little things that I did catch out of things that he said, Mike, make me think that, they do know a little bit more than they are letting on. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they did. Cody says Kyler Murray's like Mark Wahlberg. He's a small turd. Jeremy says this. He says the only one I think of bringing in and to maybe help Howard is Joe Flacco. He would be cheap and can win games. And you know what? He won games with Cleveland, and he won games with Cincy. He won games with Indy, and so again, he's not the worst. I think it's just that name. I think people, I think the Steeler Nation is going to be like, Flacco, but we took Aaron, Mike, and I never thought we'd have had Aaron Rodgers on this staff or on our team, Mike.
Yeah.
So again, maybe anything is possible.
Never count out the Steelers to do something that makes you go, never thought that would happen.
Yeah.
We're full of surprises recently.
Cody says, and I'll step on him like dog shit. Tortilla says, I went back and looked at the list of quarterbacks who won the Super Bowl, and there's a lot more than 7 mobile QBs that won, especially for the 70s. Some of those guys were considered a dual threat. Terry
Bradshaw was one. He was a big-time runner and passer.
The blonde bomber.
The blonde bomber. He could scoot.
I'm going to go to right here where Corey's at Don't Drink That says, I've never been a fan of the Ewok. It's like watching a midget luchador running from the Big Show.
He does look weird. That's why I want him here. I love the way he runs. It makes me giggle.
You did mention his you
did like mention a toddler with a full diaper. Him and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
They have that pregnant ass. Let's scoot up here to Jeremy Olsen. I would say I would choose Flacco over Kyler any day. And Omar says they want an AFC quarterback, and that is not Kyler. Interesting. 100. Mark Malone says Rodgers fixed a problem last year. He could only do so much with Tomlin and no wide receivers. I mean, Mark, we said, and that's the thing. I mean, maybe under the new system, under his old coach, that he went through hell with to get to where to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying again. I'm not throwing the Super Bowl word out there. But maybe, and then add a couple of other receivers, another year under the belts of the offensive line. Just maybe, it could be somewhat pleasurable. Maybe he could get out of the first round of the playoffs. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't know. I mean, if we could legitimately say those 2 words at this point just yet, but still a lot of things going to go down in this offseason, like that can potentially change that.
Yeah, a lot to go. And the team's not a Super Bowl caliber team. And the team is what they are. And do you want a quarterback that could potentially lose you a bunch of games and get you a quarterback that will eventually win you a bunch of games, or keep running out the same old guys over and over again. It's, I'm willing to try anything with this team. I like to see them winning more than losing. So, and I think Rooney's the same way, but he's going to go with Aaron Rodgers, where I would roll the dice with someone like a Malik Willis, just because it's something completely different. And let's go that route. And if that route fails, he's only going to sign for a 2-year deal anyway.
Mike, does Malik want a bigger contract? Is he trying to go somewhere to play and make money?
What I read was like 25, 30 mil in that range, 2 years at max value, 60 mil, 50 to 60 million. Try it. What's the worst that could happen? That's just I'm okay with it. It's a small sample size, but it's a good small sample size. Once he got out of Tennessee, once he got out of that hellhole, you got to see he actually can play football rather well at this level.
All right, good take. Let me jump back on the board here, Mike. Mark Malone says, I'm sorry, we got him. Cody says Kyler Murray can't throw the deep ball anymore. And that's a shame because, again, he's kind of still a young guy.
Yeah. And that's one thing I read, like it was starting to go on him. And, what was one of our big things with Aaron Rodgers wasn't throwing the deep ball enough.
Yeah, right. And this guy can't even throw the deep ball. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had an arm. Say what you want about this 40-some-year-old guy. The guy had he had a cannon when he wanted to, when he tried.
When he wanted to, that was the thing.
Yeah. Inja Joe says, but there were a lot more pocket passers than mobile quarterbacks that won the Super Bowl. And the thing about that, I mean, it's an interesting comment because, the mobile quarterback didn't really take off until Michael Vick in the early 2000s. Yes, there are quarterbacks were considered mobile, and even Cordell Stewart I could put in that category, but it didn't really take off even until after Michael Vick. And then people started going after a lot of these mobile guys, because even Donovan McNabb in the early 2000s, I wouldn't consider mobile. He Jalen Hurts style, and kind of in a way he can move, he could run, but he was a good thrower as well. So again, we're in a new age of the NFL. We're in an early stage of these kind of days, Mike, and I like it. I mean, these young kids, these mobile kids, and once they really tie their game together with being able to throw the ball down the field, you're going to have a really good athlete back here at quarterback. Let me jump to John. John, the Steeler freak. He'd be saying this: quarterbacks must be mobile enough, but not run first. Most mobile quarterbacks in the college never get developed for NFL play, but they get used to winning only winning at the college level. This is why OSU quarterbacks wash out. Interesting. Interesting. And we're still keeping an eye on the Stroud down there in Houston. Mike, he started out looking great.
Started off great.
And then it went really bad.
Yeah.
And then now it's getting better again. If they could match offensive play with that defense, they might have themselves a pretty good team.
If they would quit tearing down their offensive line every year, that would be a good stepping stone for them. Like, I've never seen a team get rid of their offensive line, have it be bad, and continue to make it worse.
Right.
I just don't get it. You drafted a quarterback high. You have some good weapons in the pass game. Now you got a good running back. Wouldn't you be building that offensive line to protect your investment? Because you can see what happens once he gets too much sustained pressure. He starts to fall apart. But when he has time to sit back there and hit his drops and throw, he can pick you apart, and he can play under pressure too. You go back that first year and watch him against the Browns in the playoffs when everyone was all about, oh my God, the pressure rate from all the pressures from Myles Garrett. Oh my God, that's why he's Defensive Player of the Year. Go watch that. It was staring those plays down and throwing darts. If you build an O-line so he can actually read and then find them and then trust that they'll make the block, or he's not going to get destroyed every play, I think he can still be a really good quarterback in this league. But they're just ruining him down there. And they got rid of their offensive coordinator too after that first year.
Just give him to us.
Nothing to help him. It is comical to watch what's happening down there.
These teams are just screwing up with these these young quarterbacks. They should just let us have them and see what we could do with them. Mike, we mentioned the Chargers yesterday as they were losing Mekhi Becton. Mike, also losing Savion Washington, their tackle, and Will Dissly, their tight end. Mike, that offensive line that protected Justin Herbert so well last year, Mike, is almost totally torn down. So maybe they're going to get it back together in LA with the Chargers.
I guess they're hoping their two tackles that they lost to injury this year will be able to hold that offensive line together, because from all reports and grading services, like the guard they lost, Zion Johnson, he actually played a whole hell of a lot better than Mekhi Becton did. But my God, that's just another organization that's gonna get a quarterback killed. I love to see it.
Exactly. Just give him to us. We'll treat him all right.
We'll do something with Herbert. He hasn't done a whole lot. He's failed in the big moments, but you know what? We're used to that here right now.
You know what? When you look at him failing, Mike, he's still.
I'd rather try to fail with him.
He still threw like for 500 games and 500 yards in those games that he failed. And so, I mean, the guy is throwing the ball very well. The Chargers are kind of a mess. And again, I'd like to see him do better. I think he's good. Jeremy Olsen.
I think he'd do a lot better in black and gold.
I do too.
Yeah.
Jeremy Olsen says Howard would beat out Kyler Murray for quarterback one. And I would be there for every moment of it, Jeremy. I would. Mike would make that face that he just made. That's his Ohio State face. And I want you guys to notice.
This is the face of someone who, like, a 6th-round pick is going to beat out a guy who has,
the 6th-round pick is never going to be
yards,
a 6th-round pick will never win more Super Bowls than anybody ever else in the history of the game. Yeah, that's totally out of the question. But the point being,
the outlier.
Hold on. Now you have to let me prove my point. That face is Mike's Ohio State face. Anytime you say anything that has to do with Ohio State, he gets that grimace, that look. And I could always tell, because anytime we talk about Will Howard, it goes to that face. Anytime we talk about Ohio State, it goes to that face. He has a tell. He doesn't think that he does. Look, there he goes with the no. I can tell you,
because I was excited.
Listen, no, I'm going to point. Listen, no, I'm going to point it out. I'm going to point it out. Every time it happens, that way you can see the tell, because he says that he doesn't. I know that he does, because I look at his face for 2 hours every day in a row, and I pick these things out, and I'll point it out every time you make the tell, Mike, because there's a tell. There's definitely a Ohio State tell.
Hey, man, I was ecstatic when we drafted Cam Hayward, and he's an Ohio State guy.
I didn't know you then, so I can't confirm. All I can do is take your word. You could be making that up. What do I know? Let me go to Mike Carr on the terrible board. He says the answer is Rodgers. Mike McCarthy's offense is extremely complex from what I heard, especially for a quarterback. Let's go back to Jeremy. Jeremy Olsen says this. Yes, Flacco can help Howard and Bridge for a year cheap and win games. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says Hurts, Mahomes, Wilson, Rodgers, Elway, Young. Is that Hosteller? McMahon, Staubach, Namath can argue a few more. What are these arguments? Are these I don't
quarterbacks that you can consider mobile quarterbacks?
Joe Namath? I don't know. I guess whatever. I would have to go back and watch. And same with Jim McMahon, some of these other guys, but I don't know. Again, I guess each of them would have their own conversation. Let me scoot up to Tyrone. Tyrone says Howard, Murray, A-Rod. Howard, Murray, A-Rod. Also, RB says you build the entire team up until you're ready, and then you plug and play. That's always been the motto here.
Yep,
that's always been what we said, Mike. And then plug and play a quarterback, and let the guys around him do the work. That's why you bring A-Rod back, teach guys how to be winners. Again, this team does need to learn how to win. What did they do when he wasn't in? They didn't win. This is the example that I use. People always say it's not going to make the team better if they lose. You don't learn to win while losing, where I disagree. If Aaron Rodgers was in there, he gave this team a chance. When he wasn't in there, we played the Bears and Mason. The team just needs to learn to win because, again, Aaron's not going to be able to bail us out every single time, or, he broke his arm. He tore his Achilles 2 years prior to that. If he comes back, there's a good chance there could be an injury with this guy. He's in his 40s. Again, two of his last 3 seasons, a torn Achilles and the broken wrist. Just something to consider.
Closer to 50 than 30.
He's closer to 50 and 30, and a league that 30 is considered old. RB says culture, 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 and culture. Cody says, I want a big, tall-ass quarterback where the football looks like a baseball in his hand, and he could pump fake so dirty it fools the cameraman, also able to throw the ball as far as – I mean, it sounds like everybody's naming Ben Roethlisberger.
I was about to say, does he want Big Ben back?
Yes, we all want Ben back in his prime. Just Learning says Rodgers was our saving grace, and he was. He certainly was. His knowledge was able to get us a 10-7 record. Tyrone says with A-Rod, he needs weapons. And hopefully, I mean, God forbid we go into the third straight season without a receiver. Like, I don't know what I'd do.
Well, he had, Pat Fryermuth and refused to look his way.
And that's interesting because he makes this comment, Mike, and I don't disagree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you by saying this. What did he say about Muth? He says this, if I could find it. Something about his professional. There he is. Aaron Rodgers calls Muth a true professional for the BS that he put up with last year, not being more involved in the Steeler offense.
Motherfucker, you are the point guard of that offense.
Aaron Rodgers calls Muth a true professional for the BS he put up with last year, not being more involved in the Steelers offense. So do what you want with that.
Hey, Pat, you're out on the field. I'm not going to throw you the ball. Man, you did great dealing with all that bullshit of me not throwing you the ball.
Just an interesting take. Interesting take. Let's go to Mark Maloney. Says if A-Rod does come back, you draft Beck, Robertson, Eller, and have them fight it out. Somber. You play Will. If he's good, awesome. If he sucks, you draft high in 27. That's what I'm saying. And I'd like to get a look at him before next year's draft comes around anyway, because, you have to know what your guys have. You have to. Plain and simple, he says. Also, Tyrone says, 24-7 over 3 week, 3,000 yards with one receiver. And point taken. Point taken. Give him some weapons and some protection. Cody says Aaron Rodgers fucking sucks. Danny Boylan says Rodgers will not win another Super Bowl. RB says Tomlin ruined the Steelers culture. Love him or hate him, you can't deny Steelers culture was dying for 10 years ago and now is dead. Let guys do whatever as long as they put up numbers. Cody says Kyler Murray shortcomings.
You like that one?
That was good. I think we all chuckled on that. Sommer says I thought Cam Jordan was retiring. Apparently he's entering free agency.
No shit.
I didn't know
He's
that
like
either.
90 years old.
And right?
He's same age as Cam, I think. So yeah, therefore 90 years old.
Let's go to John. John Steeler Freak says this. My issue is that other teams have won, torn down, and won the Super Bowl again. Art Rooney is passive Jerry Jones and holds the team back. RB says Rodgers, Flacco, Jameis Winston, someone good for culture. And you know what? I don't hate Jameis Winston. Because, again, you know what you're getting, and the guy goes out there and he gets shit done somehow. And it's in his own wacky ways, but he was getting more receiving yards last year in a game more than our number one receiver had in one particular game, I recall. Again, he's wacky, but again, what are we really expecting from this year?
Jameis, grab him by the pussy Wilson. Let's go, boys.
Hey, what is so wrong with that? Why does everyone always put that term down? That sounds like a you weirdos.
Jameis, let's go steal some crab legs, Wilson. Let's go.
Why don't you go in the closet with Aaron, would you?
What the hell did I do to you?
Yinzer Jones says this. What about trading for Mac Jones? I guess that's still out there. I heard early on that he wasn't interested, Mike, to come here.
Report they want a first-round pick for him. Fuck
yeah,
you.
F that.
Fuck you.
The scoop that I got was he wasn't interested in coming here, and that was about a month ago, and I keep seeing his name pop up, so... Yeah. Cody says Kyler Murray wears a bra. Mike Carr says this. Rodgers 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. With that pathetic offense, and that's a good point, Mike. As was just said a few messages ago, with another wide receiver or two, another playmaker or two, minus Jonnu Smith, and the offensive line gets a little bit better after playing another year together. Maybe it would work out with Aaron. But it all depends on what you consider workout.
Exactly.
Workout means gets this team ready to be competitive to possibly win a championship. I don't think this team is going to be in the running for a championship this upcoming season. That's just me.
I don't either. I don't
think we're anywhere in position to even believe that we are.
No, not even close.
Mike, we let up 250 yards rushing at home.
If you just want to keep chugging along the way we are and keep building the team, Aaron Rodgers is your guy.
And also, Mike, we gave up 250 yards rushing at home. Yeah. Does a team that gives up 250 yards rushing seem like this should be anywhere near February?
No.
I'm just saying, because Buffalo wasn't that good last year, and they came into town in our stadium in an evening game, I do believe, and ran the ball for 249 yards. So we need to fix some holes before we can start worrying about if Aaron's going to get us to a Super Bowl this year.
And that's why I said like he might be the best option then if you just want to keep plugging holes, building that roster, chugging along, and still win games and be quasi competitive. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco might be your best option at that point.
Also, let's go right here to Mike. I thought Murray. John says, Mike, I thought Murray too. He can still move. Tortilla says Jameis Winston and Will Howard would need their own podcast. It would be interesting, right?
Oh, God.
Mark Malone.
The Jameis Winston quote from that year when he was throwing all those interceptions, he was like, I was praying to Jesus to deliver me from these pick sixes. Like, this is the quarterback I want.
Hey, he sounds like he has his stuff together. Mark Malone says Father Maxwell is on our side. Cody says Kyler Murray body fat. Kyler Murray body runs too fast for his butt. Yeah, he does. He has that Mahomes ass. RB says Rodgers is far and away the best arm talent option we have, but is by far and away the best arm talent option we have, best leader option we have, best teacher option available that we have. Mike Carr agrees with them. Cody says this. Oh no, not Jonnu Smith. Somber says just hoping for an injury at this point, not season ending, but at least a month-long injury so Will can get on the field. We cannot go another full season without seeing Will against starters. I agree 100%. I just think that this team is in such a position to where you can start molding it. Why not look at your options? I think it's insane to not want to see your options and everything that you have, because you wouldn't do it in a year that you're competitive. You wouldn't want to do it in a year that you're trying to win games to place and position yourself for January. Why not see what you have next year when you got new system, new coaches, everything else going on? Summer says maybe a hammy or something. Something simple.
Ryan and his hamstring injuries.
Well, the hamstrings they just rub it out on the sideline and you go back on the field. Now you're off a month. Tortilla, maybe Rodgers fakes an injury for Howard. So he's going to fake it now.
Like his wife, allegedly.
Aaron RB says you put someone out there who is pure shit or not ready, you run the chance of being awful and then killing guys' confidence levels and possibly turn them into losers. Tortilla says, put my boy in. Somber says he's a 6th round pick who won the Natty. I think his confidence was already attacked. Again, I keep hearing about this energy. He has a FU energy. I want to see the FU energy. Sometimes that again is contagious and makes people around you play better. It just does. Look at little Brett Favre. He had that stupid energy, He was just a little hillbilly from Missouri. But his energy got everyone all fired up around him, man, and they won. They won Super Bowl. Let's see. Steeler Freak says this: arm talent. Rodgers has the brain and experience. His arm and mobility aren't even average anymore. His QB rating was 23rd. Mark Millen, yes, Fields for sure. RB says, I'm talking about everyone around him. If he sucks and everyone around him is playing well, it will eventually come time where people question shit if they can do anything right. Follows it up by saying, shit happens like that all the time, man. Somber says, oh, you mean like the last however many quarterbacks we've had besides Rodgers, and that's debatable? Let me grab Yinzer Joe right here, my man Yinzer Joe. He says Rodgers did throw a 70-yard bomb and rolled out and ran a touch. No, I know.
But not consistently. That's the thing. It's not consistent with him anymore.
I don't know. I think that he's going to give you what he's going to give you. I think he could throw a bomb down the field 70 yards. I think he could roll out and score a touchdown. Again, he's a very smart football player at the end of the day, and I think that he's going to be able to do them things. But as you said, Mike, consistently on a consistent basis, where you're going to expect him to throw 70-yard bombs and constantly run. I mean, that's crazy talk. Again, closer to 50 than he is to 30 in a league of 30 is considered old. You shouldn't be depending on your quarterback for those things. RB says one guy being absolute shit or completely unprepared or not ready can affect everyone else on the roster. But isn't that the case with Aaron Rodgers? We had to sit around and wait for him. Listen, the whole process with Aaron Rodgers is sitting around and waiting for him. We have to wait for him now. So that's not helping the team in any way. Maybe they could be on the phone talking things out. So then he's not ready in July. Well, he wasn't last year. Coach didn't even make him play a snap. So how is that making anybody better on the field? My argument was you got to get out there. People have to play. You got to get your reps in. We always seem to be waiting on Aaron, and I don't know how that's making the team any better. He's, you got to drag your feet with him. Again, here we are, smack dab in the situation. If we knew what he was doing, if he knew what he was doing, if the team knew what he was doing, maybe we could be making steps to make this team better. But here we go. We're still dragging our feet with Aaron. We don't, So whether they know what they know or they don't know what they don't know, again, we're kind of in that same situation this year. Say what you want. Tortilla, the thing with Rodgers is the line and wide receiver needing to be fixed. He threw 90% of his passes behind 9 yards. That's not winning anything.
It's because he was afraid to take a hit.
A mobile quarterback can make up for that and buy time for wide. That's true. It's true. End of days. How you doing, man? Rodgers is washed up. Start Will Howard. I'm on the end of days. I'm on the boat with you, man. I like that idea. Somber says seems to work out for the Pats. Hey, you're right. Drake didn't win any national championships either. He was drafted higher, but he'd never won anything in college of that nature. Somber says maybe wasn't exactly lighting it up in year one. John says fake Maze. He isn't. Fake Maze. He isn't it. RB. He's going to be all right. He's going to be a serviceable quarterback. But the thing is, you're always looking for them top 5, Mike. There's always 5 quarterbacks, and there's only 5 quarterbacks. I swear at one time on this planet that is considered elite quarterbacks. There's never more. It's always about 5. If you don't have one of those 5, it's going to be a struggle.
It's going to be rough. You got to have everything go right. Like Jalen Hurts isn't one of those 5, but everything went right for them that year. Yeah. And then he just played the game of his life in that Super Bowl.
Let's go to RB. He says this: everyone wants to point out how bad the coaching staff and game plans were, and don't keep that in mind when evaluating the same players who had to play in those shit systems and shit games. RB follows it up by saying Buffalo gets more and a 5. Chicago gets a 2. All right. Somber says the Steelers are high on KC Concepcion. Just wanted to ruin somebody's day like mine was with that news. Ugh. John says the OSU Huggers will make excuses for Howard like Pitt Huggers did for Pickett. Somber says who do you want at quarterback? Steeler Freak is Somber's asking John that. Don't drink that. Corey says RB is about to make Beef Bully look like a National Enquirer. That's right. RB's the man. Let's go to Andy. I did want to say what's up to Andy Sawmiller. He says one thing I don't want to see is M. I don't want to see M. Yinzer Joe, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields were mobile. How well did that work out in Pittsburgh? Russell Wilson I don't think was really that mobile, but you're right. Justin Fields certainly was, and he did well. He went 4-2 and ran a lot. And I don't know. He didn't give more of a chance. Maybe if he would have more of a chance, we'd have more to say. But again, Fields was 4-2. Then he got yanked.
And kind of playing like Aaron Rodgers, taking the dink and dunk stuff.
Yeah. Obviously, it's just the system. Like, why does every single quarterback come out and do the same thing? It's, so maybe again, with the new coaching staff, Tortilla says McCarthy didn't say he wanted a mobile quarterback to be funny. Cody says this, the comparison TJ Watt to Lamar Jackson is perfect. Whoever said that, good shit. Danny Boyling says this, that being said, Rodgers hasn't done shit in 15 years. It's true. It is true. And he's not going to do shit again this year. We'll come out. Again, he's probably going to have nice numbers. Again, he was, 24-7 this year with no receivers, no offensive line. He's going to do okay. He's going to do exactly what you expect him to do. I think that Aaron Rodgers. John says the so-called plug-in guys like Kabuli, Saunders, Strackburn, and Carter don't know jack shit, but get credit because they have team. Absolutely. Please go back on their podcast and F with them. Andy Miller says this. He says, one thing I don't want to see is MR Mason Rudolph, gotcha. I'd prefer Howard or a draft pick, but Aaron is better. And that's the thing. We already know what Mason Rudolph is. You're not looking to him to find anything out. He's your backup. End of the day, we got to see the kid. You have to. It's retarded that we haven't had a chance. And again, that was due to injuries. But what would make it retarded is if it would continue on and we still don't get to look at him again. Very, very, very anxious to watch him play. Just again, but maybe he's going to be terrible. But then it could help me make my mind up a little bit better. Somber says, says Kyler Murray out there running around looking like Kim Kardashian with that ass.
That's a good one.
Tyrone says A-Rod needs weapons. For real, with this wide receiver core was awful. Absolutely. And everything points to we are going to tackle that this year. Mark Malone, I'm telling you, this is going to look entirely different with McCarthy and Graham. John says Murray had a higher quarterback rating than Rodgers last year. Also, Somber says MH Jr. and Michael Wilson are better than our entire wide receiver core. Let's talk about a couple things, Mike, before we do move on. A lot of stuff to get into today. Let's talk about our Steelers here for a couple minutes, and then we do have more scoop. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, some more things that he says, Mike. But these are here's a little bit of free agency scoop, Mike.
All
right. So here we go. James Pierre, he tied the league lead last year with just 4.7 yards allowed per coverage target. This is James Pierre, Mike. We're going to be talking about him because we're trying to figure out what we're trying to do with our cornerback position. Of course, Asante Samuel Jr. and Joey Porter Jr. Or certainly people that are, I think, leading the pack. But when you're talking about James Pierre, Mike, again, he led the league with just 4.7 yards allowed per coverage or target, and he was atop the list, Mike, of coverage grade at 88.7 for the season. Here's the thing. Somebody's going to come along and probably pay him some money at the end of the day, Mike. You're looking at what he did last year, and they're saying, they could say, I don't want to miss out on this. If I could bring this guy, Pittsburgh they got Samuel, they got Porter. Do you see James Pierre going somewhere and grabbing a bag? Wow, he still has value? Because right now, people can say, look how good he did. I don't want to miss out on this.
I don't think like a big bag, but I think he can go somewhere and make some money. And people are like, oh man, he finally turned the corner. It would be a small contract, maybe 2 to 3 years. That third year being like a wash year. Yeah, I think he'd make more money elsewhere than Pittsburgh because I think they're going to really focus on Asante Samuel Jr. first. But I think Pierre can make a little bit of money. I don't think he's going to get crazy cornerback money, but I think the team would take a chance on him. Like, it would be crazy if a team tries to make him their cornerback too.
I'm just grabbing this top message on the board right here. Corey says Asante Samuels Jr. is about to head to the Saints. He saw. I didn't see, but I'm not doubting. I'm just throwing that out there. That was the latest comment on the board. Also, with that being said, Mike, let's stick in the secondary. What if these Steelers? Now, we talked about Minka yesterday. We don't want him back. We have a safety. We got blah, 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 blah. Like, but what if we can get him on the cheap? What if Minka Fitzpatrick could come back on a short contract? He's familiar with the guys, familiar with the locker room. Are you 100% against Minka Fitzpatrick being on this team next year?
I am. I'm 100% against Minka on this team. I am. Minka Fitzpatrick out. I'm tired of looking at his face after he gets burnt in coverage and trying to blame it on everyone around him and missing tackles and getting out pursued and not making any type of impact play on the defense for years. Yeah, I am Minka Fitzpatrick out. He can go play elsewhere.
Here's another one. Mike, Dallas is not planning to tender swing offensive lineman, center/guard, Brock Hoffman, Mike. He did play under Mike McCarthy. We are going to be deficient on the offensive line. We are probably going to lose a left tackle. I'm sorry, a left guard. Obviously, a lot of questions at left tackle, Mike. I don't know a whole lot about this young man. Again, Brock Hoffman, center guard, swing offensive lineman, played under Mike McCarthy, not being tendered by Dallas. Again, what are you going to tackle? What are you going to tackle in the draft? What are you going to tackle in free agency? Again, we don't know which direction they're going to go, Mike, but something is going to get addressed next week. Again, with the tampering period starting on Monday at noon, in the trade deadline, or I'm sorry, the free agency starting at Wednesday at 4:00. So this is another name to throw out there, Mike, when you're trying to figure out, okay, are we going after the line in free agency, and maybe we'll tackle the wide receivers early in the draft? Just again, another offensive lineman name, like, of people that are available out there. And of course, all these guys from the Chargers that I don't want anywhere near our city. So just another name out there.
Like, this guy looks like he would just come in to be like a backup. And I think we have better backups on our roster than this guy, just by taking a quick look at what he did down there.
What do you do down there?
And just going based off PFF grades,
Okay.
he did not. No, he didn't play a whole lot of snaps, and his passing grades are some of the lowest for centers.
All right, there you go on that. Also, Mike, some of the more of the bigger names, of course, DJ Moore heading off to the Buffalo Bills. That was announced this morning. DJ Moore from Chicago. This was a guy that I know people in Pittsburgh had an interest in, as we were talking about wide receivers possibly in the free agency next week. So DJ Moore from Chicago is going to Buffalo. And then also, Mike, Stephon Diggs, he is being released. He's being released by the Patriots, Mike, the Ravens, Steelers, some of the early candidates to possibly be in the running for Stephon Diggs. What do you like? What do you think about Diggs?
I think he still has talent, but do you want to bring all that baggage and drama?
At this point, does it matter? I mean, Jalen Ramsey could have been that same argument last year. It's kind of the Steeler way anymore, is bringing in guys with baggage, which I agree. I don't want that. I understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, Mike, don't we always have a wide receiver with head issues?
Yeah, but I think we're trying to go away from that. Unless they draft the only.
Didn't we bring a guy that came in and punched somebody in the head last year because he was the guy?
I want that guy.
Is he? Well, you were trying to go away from that, or you want that guy? I'm just trying to figure that out.
That's the only time.
Within 10 seconds, you said you hate that guy. You want to get rid of him.
That was an isolated incident for DK Metcalf.
Mike, he's the guy that we brought in because he was the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah,
and then he punches a guy in the head that wasn't even playing football.
Yes, I want that guy.
I'm just making sure.
I want that guy, and I want Mekhi Lemon. I don't want the Stephon Diggs crazy.
All right.
I don't want, like, if you're gonna allegedly go do cocaine on a boatload with boats of hookers, allegedly Stephon Diggs, don't film it, okay?
Why? What's wrong with you? Grabbing chicks down there, doing cocaine with hookers? You make these sound like these are bad things.
Okay, the Stephon Diggs and going doing drugs with hookers on a boat, that sounds like a good time, but don't film it when you're trying to get a new contract, buddy. That's all I'm saying. And you just got released by a team that you went to the Super Bowl with. And isn't that like a big red flag?
I don't know.
Like, hey, we're trying to get back there. You're a big part of it. Go elsewhere. That to me screams red flag.
They didn't exactly win the Super Bowl. They had their asses kicked in the Super Bowl, but yeah, I don't know. So what are you saying?
It's just a red flag.
All right, red flag.
But I want some Mekhi Lemon. I want a crazy guy.
Yeah, he's not crazy.
I want that. I want that mixed with DK Metcalf punching people.
So it's got to be the right. It's got to be the right kind of.
It's got to be the right kind of crazy. I want Mekhi to be like, "Hey, DK, I'm staring at him. Go like this," and DK just starts going over, throwing left and rights. All
right, sounds like a plan. Let me grab a couple messages, Mike, and we're going to come back to some Aaron Rodgers talk from yesterday, of course, on the PMS. I'm going to jump right down somewhere.
Excuse me.
I'm in the right neighborhood. Just give me a moment.
4 hours later, Ryan, we'll get to your comments, guys.
4 hours later. I just took that off my soundboard, too. I wish I... All right here, I thought... okay, let's go with Steeler Freak John, where he says this. I thought once Tomlin left, things would be better. Now, I believe... is that ADT? I thought it was going to be Rooney. Must go before anything truly get better, truly get competitive again. I'm not sure who the ADT is. I apologize. Mark Maloney says we changed the rules to accommodate them. Also, Yinzer Joe says this: if Rodgers returns, it would help with the continuity and familiarity The team would get some new wide receivers, and the defense could get some new parts, and Howard can learn more from Rodgers. And what's it going to matter? Nobody wants to let Howard play. He's a 6th-round guy. What's it even matter? Georgianne, I do want to say what's up. Great seeing Georgianne.
Up.
Absolutely. Nice seeing you back on the terrible board. Hope things are going well for you. Tyrone says, I think he'll be fine. He knew he had no wide receivers. Shaking my head. Steeler Freak says Stroud is a one-read guy who can't read defenses. Steeler Freak follows up by saying Howard in the offseason wishful thinking will be nonstop. Yinzer Joe says, I still don't get the interest in Howard. I mean, Landry Jones was a 4th-round pick. Chris Oladokun was a 7th, but Howard is our future. I don't think anybody's – listen, nobody knows. Nobody has even seen him take a snap. That's the only thing I'm saying. I have to be able to roll him out, but by able to roll him out, I have to be able to see him play. I can't just go off of people saying that he's a 6th-round guy. He's not going to be anything. That's insane. I mean, people from every round has success and obviously done great things from those later rounds. I'm not saying that he is Tom Brady by any means. I'm not even going to say he's what Brock Purdy was able to do to this point. But again, I think that it would be nice to at least see the guy play so I could make an educated opinion. Let's go to Andy Saul Miller, where he says this: if they go for Kyler Murray is going to be the starter, it will be another fake competition. If they go for Kyler Murray, he is going to be the starter. Okay, gotcha. Joe says Kyler will be in Minnesota. I'm willing to bet on it.
That seems like a logical spot.
Well, and let me get to that 1 second. Let me grab the one I just missed. Ty says this: I'm ready for free agency. So am I, Ty. But this also, Mike, I did get this, which may be Aaron Rodgers won't play anywhere other than Pittsburgh if he don't retire. That is something else that was said yesterday, Mike. So again, that Minnesota comment may hold even more true because Minnesota was the other team that was possible for Aaron Rodgers if he in fact does come back next season. So I think Pittsburgh or a bust if at this point is how it sounds to me, Mike.
That's what it's sounding like. And back to the Kyler Murray to Minnesota, I think it'd be a good spot for him to go up there with Kevin O'Connell, who helped unlock the true potential of Sam Darnold. I would go there if I was Kyler Murray. Play indoors, and you have Jordan Addison and Jetta to throw to. That would be the place to go.
I know.
And you really don't have much competition behind you.
No, they I was reading something like last night that there's a lot of teams that need good quarterbacks. Why are we the one that people talk about constantly?
There's like literally, if you go through teams' rosters, you can say they need an upgraded quarterback. They need an upgraded quarterback. Yeah, they just took a guy last year in the draft in the 1st or 2nd, 3rd rounds, but they need a quarterback.
Right.
Like you said, like if you don't have a legit top 10 quarterback in the league, you need a new quarterback.
Absolutely.
That 15 through 25, you can flip-flop most of them.
Let's go right here. John says Rodgers last season wasn't a success to me. Corey says I wish Big Ben took care of his body like Rodgers and Brady do more. I know it just would have made him. That was Ben though. You know what I mean? He was Ben.
It was that elbow injury. No matter how well you took care of yourself, he was never coming back.
He was a backyard football player, and I loved it. He just had a style. And again, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yes, would I love him to still be involved? Yes, but again, we're all sitting around hoping for 45-year-old guys. I mean, that's again, where's our heads? We need to get back. You know what's going to solve all this, Mike? Winning. If we could advance in the playoffs, it could give us a whole new argument to have. I mean, these arguments are stale, and I hope this new coaching staff could get us past that. But it's the same thing every year for the Steelers, and we just 10-7, as John says, it didn't feel like a successful season. We got about what we thought we were going to get done. We got Mike Tomlin's 500. We got to the playoffs, and yet it still fell under the same categories of losing in the first round. Not only losing in the first round, getting murdered in the first round, but I'd like for the narratives to change maybe moving forward, like maybe next year. We don't know. We will see. Right here to Somber, sign Murray. He'll be injured by week 4, and Howard will start.
See, look, I'm trying to help us out.
How are you helping us?
By campaigning for Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Then we can get Howard in there.
Somber says he's not an AFC North quarterback. Mark Malone says, I think Tomlin hated Fried Daddy and had him as the last read. It sure seemed like it. He certainly never seemed like the first read. Steel Freak John says Rodgers is as good as Ben at passive ass comments.
Those two are in the top tier of the Hall of Fame when it comes to that.
Yeah. And you know who else was? Mike Tomlin. Boy, was he drove me nuts. He drove me nuts. Just answer the question. Nope. What do you mean birds and fish and fly and trees and God damn it, just tell us.
No wonder no wonder they got along.
I know. Why was everything such a big secret? Fuck. He made me insane. It's like listening to a politician talk. You're just waiting for them to answer the question and you get everything but the answer. Apparently that's a good skill to have. This is something that they teach young people to do, but whatever. Cody says, Mike, the Browns got rid of their whole offensive line. You can't say you never seen that.
That's right. They did didn't the one guy retired and then like their both guards were like, deuces, I'm out. I'm not re-signing to this nonsense.
You know, and they're in where the hell is Tater Tot anyway? Shouldn't he be in here bothering us? I thought that I felt unbothered today. Mac Jones's ass. This is what John is saying. Somber says Rooney just loves to chug along. Just loves to chug along.
Chugga.
And you know what? I'm fine with chugging along too. That's as long as we have more Super Bowls than everybody else. When somebody ties us or we fall behind, I don't like chugging along anymore. I want to get in there and win fucking Super Bowls. And at the end of the day, you know, New England could have passed us this year. That should give us some kind of kick in the ass, maybe a little fire under our asses, but we'll see. Corey says Mac Jones will go to Arizona if Mendoza goes to Las Vegas. If Arizona trades up for Mendoza, then Mac Jones will be in Las Vegas. I can't wait till they fail again. Everything that's going on in Las Vegas, it doesn't matter. They're just one of those teams that are always what they are, and they constantly bring people in. They're constantly. Last year they brought in new coach, new quarterback, and they ended up being the worst team in the league. So let's see what them Raiders do with Mendoza. Just saying. Shy Guy Fly, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Great to see you back, Shy Guy Fly. He says this: we don't have to. I'm sorry, we don't have to be. We pride ourselves on being a strong organization, but letting Aaron walk all over us. Go get Murray and let Rodgers do whatever he wants. That's the feeling in Pittsburgh today. Again, after some of these things that were said, and I'll get into them here just a moment. People were like, you know what? It's going to be this wait for Aaron game in a year that there needs to be change. The year that the team needs to grab the bull by the horn, in a sense, and start giving itself that identity. Well, here we are. We're waiting on Aaron again. Just a couple days before the tampering period, Mike, in less than a week from free agency. Here we are waiting on Aaron again with the draft a month away. Very, very similar feeling than it was last year. Very similar. Mm-hmm. And again, you know, other teams are already putting pieces in places, figuring out what they're going to do. We're waiting on Aaron. So that's a heavy feeling today in the Berg after hearing him talk yesterday on the PMS. Let's go right here. Corey said that's another reason we shouldn't see. The split on the board is. I like it today, Mike. You have people that want it, people that don't want Aaron. You got people that like Kyler, people that don't like Kyler. This is kind of what I was hoping to get today out of the show. Just seeing what everyone, feeling everyone out. Where do we want for this upcoming season? Ultimately, we know we want a franchise quarterback, but this upcoming season, what does it mean to you? What does this season mean to you? Is Aaron Rodgers what you want? Is Kyler Murray what you want? This is what I kind of wanted to learn this today again after seeing Aaron yesterday, and I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed at all. The board comes through as always, Mike.
And that's why they're the best.
They are the best.
The best in the business.
Sauber says this. Corey, did I finish Corey's? Rodgers won't get benched, so we can't see anyone else. Yeah, I mean it's going to be the Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be the Aaron Rodgers show again. Somber says we all remember the Bills game. We had 249 yards. That was embarrassing at our stadium. Come on, Steelers don't give up 200. Steelers don't give up 250,000 yards at home.
I love how the way you.
When you think of it that way,
things like that, the 250,000 yards.
I mean, quarterbacks threw less yards through the air that day. You know what I mean? It's just insane. That's an insane amount of yards to give up on your home field, no matter who you are. Let alone the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's why we're getting Dante Corleone.
That's right, baby. That's right. We need him. Steeler Freak says this Rooney would call security on Ryan. No rebuild or taking risks allowed. This is why Mike McCarthy is the coach. Art gave the fans a 5-year FU. Following that up by saying the Seahawks would have had Rodgers' ass. Give it up. Cody says, did he run that touchdown in? I thought he used his walker to help him get there. So obviously, a lot of these quarterbacks, guys, that are, we're talking about, they're not ideal situations. So that's what I'm saying. What do you want to see from this team? What do you think could possibly help this team a little bit along by taking this short-term quarterback position and handling it? Again, Aaron Rodgers can be a teacher. Did Will Howard learn a lot? He says he learned a lot. As a matter of fact, Will Howard, he's been endorsed by Aaron Rodgers. He said, I do believe he has what it takes. So again, what do you want? What do you think that we'll see next year? What do you expect? And again, maybe having the next season possibly being able to eye a further run into the playoffs. But again, Mike, unless magic happens this coming season, it's hard to imagine that we're going to make that run in January that we all been missing all so much.
Yeah, it's not going to happen unless we knock it out of the park in the draft and free agency. You build that team around to where you can hide.
We thought we knocked it out of the park last year in free agency. We built a whole defense.
Yeah, I know.
Again, 11 different starters from the previous year of the 22.
Yeah.
Mike, last year free agency, 11 different starters, pretty much all from free agency. And we thought we were going to be better, and we finished 10-7.
Yeah,
so lost in the first round.
Yeah, I still think like we improved in some areas, so we'll see if they keep improving this year. But you're gonna have to add a lot of talent on that offense by draft and free agency to hide the limitations of Aaron Rodgers anymore,
or the fact that we had no weapons. Yeah. Get some weapons, for crying out loud. Bring in a wide receiver 2 from the draft. Get a wide receiver 2 from the free agency. Mike, we had nothing. We had the in my opinion, the worst wide receiver room in the world last year. I mean, with the exception of DK Metcalf, again, who was out at the 2 most important games of the year, at the end of the year, that we needed to do some winning. He wasn't available. And then you got, again, Roman Wilson, who apparently has some kind of cooties, and they won't throw him the ball for nothing. Scotty Miller, again, this guy is not a guy that's going to consistently run you through a season. He's going to make a big play every now and then. That's what he got in him. And Calvin Austin, again, struggled with just getting separation. So having no playmakers, and again, your initial third string running back, he worked his way up. He worked his way past Caleb, was the guy that got a majority of your catches, and not even a receiver. So again, at the end of the day, Mike, maybe with some weapons, maybe this team can be better and do some things. And again, why they put us in that position last year, I have no idea. It was a terrible idea. Arthur Smith's offense was terrible. And not only was it terrible, a terrible schemed, it was terrible operated. The players that he brought in to do the things that they wanted to do were terrible. Jonnu Smith was terrible.
So Jonnu Smith was great on that jet sweep. How dare you not put any respect on his name?
What the hell did what do you have, like 200, 300 yards? I mean, whatever it was.
I'll pull up Jonnu's.
Yeah, please pull up. What do you have, like 222 yards? Please. Let me grab a couple of messages while you're doing that, Mike. I'm going to go right here to Mark Malone says Fields couldn't throw a touchdown to save his life. Cody says, did he run in that touchdown? I thought he used. Okay, we did get that. Somber says, who else would get credit? LOL. Richard, what's up, man? Always great seeing Richard Rodkowski on the board. My man, he says, I'm not expecting much from any quarterback that will be starting for the Steelers next season. And that's kind of where I'm at. It's a transition year for me. It's the closest thing that we're going to have to a rebuild, in my opinion, this coming year. And again, I think unless we hit the jackpot come free agency and draft day, again, it should be a similar season than what it was. And again, unless this coaching staff maybe comes in with a whole different, very interesting, guys. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to see something very interesting this year. Mike, what did you find on Jonnu?
So Jonnu Smith, let's see here. He finished with, oh God, of course, the page was there. 38 yards. Sorry, something's playing in the background. 38 receiving 38 receptions, 222 yards.
Didn't I say 222? Didn't I just say 222?
Yeah, at 9
I
carries.
thought it's how could you forget that number?
And well, I'm gonna pull up Meatwad stats too. I want to compare these two. So he had 222 yards.
Mike, he was the main guy for that Arthur Smith offense when it comes up people to catch the ball.
Oh yeah, you thought like, oh my god, like this guy's gonna be running free.
222 yards is what he yielded through the air last year.
Yeah, and Meatwad only had 43 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns receiving and 1 touchdown receiving, 2 touchdowns rushing. So Meatwad was actually more impressive.
I mean, Meatwad was. I mean, he was involved in more big plays.
I'll take that over. Like we're paid him less money than Jonnu Smith for about the same amount of production.
John says, I'm okay with giving Howard a shot, knowing it will be a long one. I know the team won't be Super Bowl competitive until 2028, and that is with luck. Also, Cody. Cody says this, I think we should trade a second for Mitch Trubisky and start him. I'm going to give him throw another pick in there as well, man. Let's see, Corey. Corey says Asante Samuel Jr. is about to head to the Saints. I didn't see that, but it's certainly good to note. I will keep my eye on that. Cody says, let's bring Will Levis. Mike, there you go. Will Levis. Is he's not shit out the bottom of the league yet anywhere? I can't believe that he's even still employed.
Get the fuck out of here, Will Levis. Who said Will Levis? Was that Cody?
Cody.
This motherfucker. Now I'm getting a headache.
Let's go to Cody. He follows it up. He says maybe Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi could possibly be the guy.
Okay, now you won me back with the Bailey Zappi.
How about this next one, Mike? Nobody's mother will be safe. He says the third one, give Zach Wilson a shot, Mike.
Oh yes, bring in the old Cougar Hunter. I'm all for that. Give me a good old Poonhound back there, quarterback. Let's go.
John says, look how quick the 49ers were and are willing to change out quarterbacks in order to be Super Bowl competitive. The Steelers won't do that. They rely on luck in the draft and take too long for quarterback decisions. Well, it's not even they're making decisions. They're letting another guy make their decisions, and they're waiting on him. So it's not even in their hands. It's insane what's going on. Again, unless they already know the result, they already know the answer, and it's still the big secret. Again, everything's a secret with this team. You don't want everybody else to know. Guess what? They're going to know. It isn't like you're this great team hiding secrets and that's your success. You're not going to be successful if they find your secrets. Maybe people should know our secrets. Maybe this will, I don't know. Something's got to give.
You're so close to crashing out right now. I kind of want to needle you over the edge.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's crazy. John says Pickett was drafted in 22 and they aren't any I agree. They're not. Somber says F it. Sign all of Dallas. Got Tolbert too. Get Tolbert too. Mark Malone. Minka did appear to get the Tomlin tainting off of him last year. Mark Malone follows it up by saying we have to get Jennings Dunker. We have to. It will not be a team like if we don't have that mullet out there.
He will get this guy. He'll have this beautiful flowing mullet, and he will suck. That's my big fear. Speaking
of, I look at this one. Pearly Gates. No wonder your show is called the Two Dum Yinzers. Look at you, man. Show us how smart you are, brother. Show us. Otherwise, I'm going to think that you were just somebody without a face hiding behind their computer, trying to be a badass. Other than that, I have no other opinion. Let me just scoot on to Mark Malone. He says this DK is no joke, man. I don't know. When we needed him at the end of the season, it kind of was, right? Didn't we need him in 2 games? We needed to win at the end of the year. How is none of this coming back on DK at the end of the day? You were literally the only weapon we had, and you managed to walk over in an away stadium and punch a guy in the head. That's kind of a problem. And again, this is the guy we brought in because he was the lesser of the 2 evils. Corey says the only reason why they Diggs go is because of money. They didn't want to release, but they had to offload his contract. Andy Sawmiller, he says, you make this sound like they're bad things. LOL. Steeler Freak says Ryan will never teach a sensitivity class. Steeler Freak says this, ADT, Art. I gotcha, Art. Gotcha. Let's go right here. Art Bad Typing. Somber says, seems like a simple concept. Tortilla says, reconstruct Omar Khan's contract. Maybe he'll lock in. Steeler Freak Johnny says, I wouldn't take Purdy. And you know what? I've never been sold on Purdy. And I've said that since day one. I've never been a Purdy guy. But that's just me. I say put him on a team that didn't have all those weapons. Put him in the Steelers offense. Let's see how tough Brock Purdy is.
I'd take that.
And put Aaron Rodgers in that San Francisco offense that was winning all the games with Brock Purdy, a couple years ago. Vegas is any place but Pittsburgh. Somber says change isn't scary, people. You wouldn't know it. Tortilla says the Ty Simpson, A.T. Perry connections will feed homeless shelters.
Hell, see, that's what I'm talking about. Now I can get behind this type of team building right here. Let's get A.T. Perry, who has the looks like he could be the next DK Metcalf, and Ty Simpson, who looks like the next Kenny Pickett. Sign me up. Let's go, boys.
Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says Muth was put in Aaron's doghouse after he dropped that. God forbid the guy dropped a pass. DK Metcalf drops one every game, but yet throws somebody else in the doghouse for dropping a pass. It's crazy.
Crazy.
DK didn't even have himself available for the basically the beginning of the playoffs, technically. But we'll continue to throw to him. Let's see. John says looking for a quarterback is like being in the last last cancer stage, scrabbling for a new cure. Mark Malone says Tater is rigging up a few car bombs. You know what? I think he popped in a little later. I think he will be coming up here on the board. Mark Malone says probably needs to concentrate. I'm going to go right here. Steelers Almighty. I do want to say welcome to Steelers Almighty. He says there are people that want Aaron but don't want to wait. Waiting is where I draw the line. Move on. Interesting. Mike, and again, this kind of falls into what I was expecting to see today. A little bit, do you want to wait? Do you think this is good? Or are we just getting tired of Aaron at this point? Do we want to see something new? Do we want to see our young quarterback? There's going to be a lot of different opinions. Certainly between hearing Aaron yesterday on PMS and then knowing the free agency is coming in less than a week, people were, the opinions are coming out, guys. So again, very, very interesting on the board today. Let me go to Somber. This season is a wash, in my opinion. They're acting like they're contenders, but what's new? That's what Rooney told us to think. Steeler Freak says this Tater is a ma fooled. He had he had a job. He had his mom fooled that he had a job. She packed him a daily lunch, but he just went to the pub. She found out and took his phone away.
That Tater.
Mark Malone says, hey, Big B. Mark Malone, it's going to happen. He's saying also Steelers Almighty. Say, Mark Malone, what's up, man? The great Mark Malone. Steeler Freak says, Rodgers is going to change my heartbeat one way or another. He can bounce. And there's Tater. There he is.
There's our boy Tater.
You're usually at the other end of the show. It's odd seeing Tater at this end of the show. But what's up, right, dude? Of course, the resident Browns fan from across the pond.
Yep. We know how to attract them, don't we?
Steeler Freak says, Job knows Smith had it coming. He sure did. Absolutely.
I was watching some of his highlights. The drop passes in his hands wide open, the lackadaisical routes, not turning around for the ball. That kind of commitment to your craft is going to be missed.
Vegas says Will Levis, a.k.a. Billy Jeans, is not good. I wouldn't want Levi or Will Levis for nothing. Mark Malone, imagine if we could draft Lemon, Dunker, Corleone, 1, 2, 3. It would put us in a good place.
I would take that. Give me my nut job at wide receiver. Give me that beautiful flowing mullet at number 2, and then give me the big fat guy to play at nose tackle at 3. Oh, boys, man, I would be lactating for a month.
Well, how's that different than now?
Now I would have an actual excuse as to why I am lactating.
Oh, there you go.
nonstop.
There
we
you go.
Yeah.
Let's grab this retard. Pearly Gates. Pearly Gates 829 says this. No wonder no wonder you show is called Two Dumb Yinzers, and it's not even spelled the way the
It's not
show
even
is.
spelled correctly.
And the thing about these retards, they'll pop in with no face, no name. They'll leave a
Mhm.
stupid comment and they'll bounce. Fucking retard. Let me jump forward to Somber. He says, is that Big B? What's up, man? Who's Big B? What am I missing on this Big B?
Steelers Almighty.
Oh, he's Big B.
He's Big B. Yeah. He's
What's up, Big B?
Yeah, he got another channel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, dude? Always great seeing you, man. Steeler Freak says Pearl Necklace 69.
That's his mom.
I mean, you wish some of these people would stick around. I mean, you like to, get into it with them, and then they bounce.
Yeah.
Cody says I would give anything for, yeah, they happen. They happen. Tater says Pittsburghers are all dumb. It's been scientifically proven.
Says the Northern Irishman who's a Browns fan. You had 32 teams to choose from, and you go, I'm going to take that one.
And as I said, people from Cleveland, yeah, they do like their team.
But they're born into
Right.
it, and they embrace it. And they embrace it well. I give them credit for that. They know what they are.
But you know what?
But when you choose to make them your team, that says a lot about you.
Let's see what Cody says. He says Pearly Gates is a fairy ass name anyway, and I agree. I wish we could exchange words with him. I wish we would have been able to, but he ran like a little pearly bitch. A little pearly bitch. Let's go with Steeler Freak. He says, I really believe change will come when art is gone. Tyrone says, hey, Steeler Almighty is here. Man, all right, everybody's, man, yeah, I don't know how to.
I know, we got celebrities up in here.
Absolutely. Lactose Thunder Tortilla is saying Lactose Thunder. I like it.
You know what? That might be my new gamer tag. Thank you, Tortilla.
Let's go to Steeler Freak. He says, Derpy has a black and gold breast pump. Derpy. Pack of Coles 100s. He says, will you guys and Big B do a cut? Dude, Big B's the dude, man. I have no problem with Big B. I do want to say welcome to Pack of Coles 100. I think that's a pretty cool name.
That is a great name right there.
Also, let's go to Steeler Freak John. He says this. I can hear Big B's dimes dropping now. And then also Tyrone, Steelers Almighty, the best Ryan subscribe. Thanks. All right, man, for show. And then Somber says, LOL, the Somber. Let me talk on about a couple more of these things, guys. As we are rounding third base on the show, these are some more things that Aaron Rodgers said, Mike. These are Aaron Rodgers quotes. When talking about the 2025 season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers says, I had a blast. I had a blast, Mike. He really enjoyed himself. And again, this could make me believe that he would come back because he did have a good time in Pittsburgh. He enjoyed the experience. People in Pittsburgh embraced him. He enjoyed the football culture. He went on and on about how everybody in the stadium parties when Renegade is played. Like he had a blast, is what he said. And now with Mike McCarthy coming to town, this is why I think there's just as good as chances as ever for him coming back next year. But that was the first quip that I wanted to talk about. Also, Aaron Rodgers did say this, Mike. He said there won't be any big decisions made today. Of course, Pat tried to bait him a little bit, see if he would say anything. He said there's not going to be any big decisions today. And finally, Mike, he says there has been no progressive conversations with the Steelers. Now, again, this one falls into the category for me. Do they know something? Did they talk? Do they already kind of have things somewhat figured out? Again, it's getting awfully close to free agency and the draft to be playing these games with Aaron Rodgers. So, again, if he wants to come back, Mike, those three comments were the last things I had. There won't be any big decisions made today, which was yesterday, and there wasn't. There has been no progressive conversation with the Steelers, which would be the one that I have a question mark on, because if not, if I'm the Steelers, I'm going to start thinking outside of that Aaron Rodgers box. or if there is, perhaps they have information, and again, they know things that we don't, which is very possible.
Yeah.
And finally, Mike, he did have a blast last season. Oh, and finally, the last one is Aaron Rodgers admits Steelers' familiar new coaching staff does draw him to returning. On them
Like I've been
comments, Mike.
saying, it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers have multiple scenarios for if he decides to come back or not. You know,
And they should.
And if hey, not by this day, guess what? You make up your own mind. We're going this direction right here. Or if you know they throw feelers out to a quarterback and they get good interest back to him, like, hey, this is what's going on. We're leaning towards someone else. What's your thought process? Are you coming here or not? And here's the contract. If he says no, like, cool, we're going over here and getting this guy. So, you know, I think it's going to be resolved. It's going to be resolved much faster than last year. Just get it done before the draft.
I agree. Let me go on. Let me go on because there are some comments that are relevant to the article or to the comments here, Mike. Let me grab Tater first. If I have to, let me get him. He says, Grandpa was looking for a new girlfriend. He knows Steelers are the fat girl that will take him back. How long did it take you to come up with that? Let me ask you that.
He's probably been working on that one for a while. Probably workshopping it with the boys down at the pub, trying to say, hey, is this a good one or not?
As they butter their scones. This is what they came up with.
Butter their scones.
Pitt Steeler for life. What up, man? Welcome to the show. Glad to see you on the terrible board. Pitt Steeler for life. The Steelers are just delaying the development of Will Howard. They bring back Rodgers. Just name Howard the starter and get it over with. And then finally, Tortilla says, in my opinion, it didn't sound like he's coming back. Interesting. One more thing, Mike, and we're going to get ready to start the process here. Like, very last thing, NFL Hall of Fame game, 154 days away. The very first game of the season between the Panthers and the Cardinals, August 6th, guys. NFL Hall of Fame game, first preseason game of the summer. Panthers, Cardinals, August 6th, Mike, 154 days. The countdown is on. We have 49 days till the draft. We have 154 days until the preseason starts. Guys, it's chugging along, and we're just getting into the good stuff. So it's going to be a ride. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Check it out, the2dumyinzers.com. That's the number 2, DUMYINZRS.com. Not only do you have my dumb thoughts over there now, but now we got NFL news and draft news from our draft experts, Chop and RB. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
A lot of good stuff, Mike, from Chop and RB. Do get over, check out the things that they are putting up and writing. Love their work so far, and I plan to continue to love it, but everything that they are bringing to the table. What a great addition, great assets to the show. Very excited. Chop and RB, Mike. Hopefully soon we'll get them all set up and on screen with us here to get them introduced formally. I do want to say, though, go check out the website, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Might put a lot of work in over there. So did the guys. Go check it out. Let me grab Somber real quick. Somber says, Steeler Freak. Let me get John first. John says, I believe the Steelers will take a free agent if Rodgers isn't coming back. Somber says, I don't know if you name him a starter, bring in Tyson Bagent and let a late draft pick or something, let them battle. Cody says the Panthers and Cardinals, who the F wants to watch that shitty-ass game, might as well. And you know what? I couldn't agree more, but it's NFL football on my TV screen, and that's always a good sign, because that means if that's happening, no matter who it is, that means the Steelers are going to be happening real soon. Again, only 154 days till the beginning of preseason games. Ty says this. He says A-Rod needs to make a decision this week. Absolutely. I mean, you got to figure, Ty, today's Thursday. Monday's tampering period at noon. And then again, free agency kicks off Wednesday at 4. I'd like to know. And again, if they know, that's cool. If they know, that's cool. But you're right. Something has to be figured out. Certainly with so many opportunities to do what we need to do with this team coming, you can't be held back by a guy that's going to be retiring as a Packer next year, in my opinion. Let me get Ty says quarterback battle. Corey, don't drink that, says I thought A-Rod wasn't going to get as much time as last season. I thought it was going to be a couple weeks. And you know what, Corey? It still is in that time frame because they said mid-March. And unfortunately, that is so close to free agency starting again next Wednesday. As today is March 5th. It puts it right in that ballpark, but that is what they said, Corey. I agree. And you know what, Tyrone? I hope they do. If they don't, I say cut them loose. If they have knowledge and information on what's going on with Aaron, then and then at least you know what's going on. But if he's going to play games at this point, I don't know. I don't know. Is it worth our time? Is it worth it for us?
I don't think so.
So there you go. Steeler Almighty in the house. Guys, let's get ready for this question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody at home, put on your thinking caps as well. It is time for the trivia of the day. Mike, we like talking about losing seasons. Of course, we've talked about losing seasons for about 20 years now and how we haven't had one. This is a question about losing seasons. So put your thinking cap on, and here we go.
The Cleveland Browns.
Between Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, they have a 58-1 non-losing record, which means there was only one losing season between the three of them in all the years they played. 18 years by Ben, 18 years by Peyton, and 23 years by Tom Brady. Mike, who is the only one that had a losing season of the three? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube. Again, guys, Cody saying, because Mike, I haven't heard your nostrils whistling all day.
Well, I got a brand new computer, Cody, so all the noise from over here is gone. Done.
Don't drink that.
Like Cody is my biggest op on the board. You think so? Like Tater would be because he's a Browns fan? No, it's Cody. All because I'm an Indiana Hoosiers fan. I don't get it.
So what is your thought process here while you're worrying about the Indiana Hoosiers?
No, I know the answer. You ready for my answer?
Well, I'm just doing a double check here real quick on something, because
Tyrone, the question was combined with Big Ben, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady have a combined record of 50, winning seasons, 58-1. Which quarterback has the lone losing season?
See, now I see, because this may be second guess, Mike. I'm looking in, and there's more than the question. So from what I just looked up, the question was, out of all three of those quarterbacks, there's only one losing season, which was the information that I pulled up earlier. And I got the answer. But somebody made me second guess by something I seen on the board, and I looked it up. And not only did they have more than it said, they have two more losing seasons. So that kind of screws things up. Let's just talk about this one, because again, it's effed up. So the question was, between Ben, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, there was only one losing season between all three of their careers. Ben never had one.
Yeah, obviously.
Tom Brady, he had when he was 8-9 in 2022, and that was the answer that I had. But don't drink that. As Corey said, it hit me.
Yeah,
he says Peyton Manning had a losing season as a rookie, so I looked it up.
Yeah, that was the one that I knew of,
and he did, Mike. Not only that, he had two. He had two losing seasons. Peyton Manning had his rookie season in 1998, and also a 6-10 season in 2001. So we're going to trash the question of the day. But again, Mike, that's what it is. It's three. It's three losing seasons. Peyton had two. Tom Brady had one. Ben never had a losing season.
Yeah, and like Vegas and Mark Malone are saying, Ben technically had that one when he went 0-2 when his elbow blew up. But to me, that doesn't count.
You're right. No,
it wasn't a full season. Right. It's hard to count that right there. It's like, you don't have enough qualifying starts to qualify for the award. So that's how I would classify that season for Ben. Like Tyrone said, he didn't play no full season.
But I'm glad that I caught that, though, because again, as soon as I see Peyton Manning, I thought he did have a losing season.
Yeah, because that's the one I knew right away. I forgot about Tom Brady in the 8 and 9 season.
Because Tom Brady lost after he won the Super Bowl. He had a losing season the following year,
Yeah,
as
bum.
did even the Steelers, Mike, after winning the Super Bowl in 40. They didn't have a losing season as they went 8-8, as you recall. But
Yep.
Tom Brady, he did fall below the line, Mike. But there you go. That's the answer. Again, I didn't want to keep it going because, again, there's three losing seasons between
Yeah.
those three quarterbacks, Mike. 18 years for Ben, 18 years for Manning, 23 years for Brady, a total of 59 years. There was only 3 losing seasons.
That's insane. We're not going to see that type of quarterback talent for a long time in the NFL. That might have been like the golden age of quarterbacks. There's such a run of greats.
I got to be honest with you. Patrick Mahomes could certainly keep the string going, but who else can be there?
He had the losing season this year. He played enough games.
That's obviously the point. I mean, I'm saying he would be a guy that I think they could be a serious person to be in something like that. But who else could even be in that category at this point? I don't think there's anybody.
I don't think so either. Josh Allen, maybe.
Has he had winning seasons every year?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
And then Vegas is saying 7 and 8, no 6 as well. So there you go. I'm glad we caught it. I appreciate all you guys, all your help.
Our researcher will be fired later.
Damn right. Tater says a lot of losing seasons.
That's Tater, no way to talk about your Cleveland Browns, Tater.
And the funny thing about Tater, the funniest part of this is the Browns have not won the division since 1988. How could anybody even talk any trash with that being their position? But Tater, the Browns fan, let's go back. I don't want to miss any comments. I'm going to come back and grab them a little bit. Woof woof dog pound is what Tater's spewing over there. Ty, I love your shot. We appreciate you, bro. We love you too, man. Don't drink that. He's showing a pattern of behavior. That should be a red flag. Tater says a lot of losing seasons. Cody, Mike, I haven't heard your nostrils whistle all day.
Yeah. We caught that. We did not have to repeat that comment.
Cody, LOL. Tater Browns fans. Let's go right here. Tyrone says, what was the question? My bad. It was all jacked up anyway, man. Tortilla said, Rashard Mendenhall. Mark Malone, Ben had a losing season after having Cousin Eddie's plates installed. Vegas says, if you look at Ben, did have a losing season when he went 0-2. Okay, we did get to that. We talked about that briefly. Also, Mark Malone, I had Ben one losing season in 2006. 2006 was an 8-8. That was an 8-8 season after the Super Bowl win. Tyrone says he ain't play a full season, and that's what it come down to. It was a couple games. Let's go to right here. Tortilla, damn, I was close, oddly enough. Pitt Steelers for life, my man. He says Peyton did have already PSE, Vegas 7 and 8, no 6. Cody, they only played. That came out to 8 and 8 on the 06 year. Cody says that's the best part of my day. I kept thinking one of my pulleys on my truck was going out. I kept checking my belts every time I stopped. No anxiety today. It was Mike's nose whistling the whole time.
I will hook up the laptop, Cody, when I see you come in, and I'll let it charge, and you get that nice whistle for you, brother. That's why I'm here, man. I aim to please. Fuck you, man.
Please who?
Not you.
I've never been pleased once by you, but
thankfully
you aim to please. Mark Malone said he had a loser after his having his brains bashed in 06. That was 8 and 8. 8 and 8 was that season. Let's go to Steeler Freak, where Steeler Freak says, Big B, it sounds like dimes are dropping on your desk during your podcast. I like it because the noise gets more intense and more frequent when you get real serious. Cody says Tom Brady has a butt chin. He does have a butt chin for sure. Corey says this, don't drink that. Josh Allen has 3 losing seasons in a row in his first 5 years. Gotcha on that, my man. Vegas says, didn't the Browns go 1-31 in the 2 years? I know they threw a parade after they went 0-16. They thought that was funny. They thought that was the funniest thing. That's what's so weird about them. Ben has 4 chins by now. John is saying. Tyrone says JPJ best DB in the game. It's if not yet, he's sure looking like it. He had better numbers than a lot of these other guys, Mike, that are considered the top corners in the league.
Yeah, he's so close to being an all-pro. If he can hold on to the ball at least 4 times this year, he will get considered or a lot of consideration to be considered an all-pro corner.
Let me go to Mark Malone. 500. Man, he was bad in 2006. Cody says 1988. I was -7. I was -7.
I was 8. God
I
damn.
was smoking cigarettes behind the school in 1988. I was 10, but you know what? We were bad early. So Vegas says Browns have had 3 double-digit win seasons 3 times since 1995. So in
We're
31
in a
years.
down cycle, and we get pissed because we're only winning 10 games a year, and the Browns would, crawl through broken glass to sniff 10
The
wins.
Browns have had 3 double-digit win seasons in 30 years.
And their fans still pack that stadium every fucking Sunday. They are nuts.
That is that's unbelievable when you think about it. How does that even happen?
That's insane. That's some bad shit right there. That's embarrassing. We're embarrassed by making the playoffs.
Well, no, we're embarrassed by getting our asses beat in the playoffs.
Well, that's what I meant. I didn't want to,
Well, yeah, I'm still.
I didn't want to give Tater any fucking more ammunition against
it.
I
mean, here, I got something for Tater. Hold on 1 second. I think you'll like this.
Potatoes.
Isn't that ain't they really into potatoes in Ireland? Isn't that their thing? The Great Potato Famine or some weird shit? I don't know.
Yeah, long ago.
Yeah, like when the Browns was the last one in that champion or in their division. Long time. So if I think other people might have got the joke. Mike still has that dumbfounded look. So I'm going to continue on the board. Moving forward here, let's go to John. John says Ryan has Derpy tied up and forcing him to eat canned spaghetti. Also, Tortilla says Cody stopped aging the last time we won a playoff game. He's the one pulling the strings. Man, if Cody would have 7 years ago, he'd still be in his early 20s, though, even if he stopped aging at the last playoff win. Tyrone says Cody mad he's not an OSU fan. Don't drink that. Browns have a new quarterback for every season. For every Heisman winner, there's a new quarterback in Cleveland. Tortilla says they play rugby with the potatoes. That's what I think. They're really into their potatoes. I know they have a lot of potatoes. There's something going on with potatoes in Ireland.
Because potatoes are good.
Well, no shit, but this is...
I'm trying to get you to go over the.
No, you're really reading the wall great today.
I'm just trying to get you to.
No, you're not trying to get me because every time you f up, then it turns on trying to get me. But I got to move on the board. I have to move, Mike. You can't stop me. Don't try to slow me down at this point. Let's see. Tyrone says Tater joined the fam. Mark Malone, I'm pretty sure I could have run the Browns team better over the past 30 years. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think anybody can. Like anybody could do better than 3 double-digit wins in 30 freaking seasons. Yeah. So,
and all you have to do to pay Mark Malone to run the Browns is to give him, paint cans and the duster spray, and he'd be good to go. Yes. He would turn them into a dynasty within 6 months, given the right paint supply.
And there's Cody. Cody's always classic Irish comment, Mike. Let's put another shrimp on the Barbie. So there you go. What do we got? Anything before we do get ready to start to wrap things up, Mike?
No, I've been scouring Twitter here the last half hour, find any fun thing to talk about Steeler related, and there's a whole lot of nothing. Just a couple people proposing trades of thank you, Mark Malone, keyboard duster, I forgot what it's called, of sending Alex Highsmith and like a first for AJ Brown. I'd rather jump off a cliff. I want AJ Brown, but I'm not trading that.
I would give up Alex Highsmith for AJ Brown in a minute,
but not that first tied into it.
Oh, the first as well? No,
yeah. But no,
I got a this year.
Yeah, it was like this year's fits what people were proposing. I'm seeing that starting to make its way across the Twitter universe. I don't think that would ever happen. I think we're going early and often wide receivers, round 1, round 3.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking as well. Mike, let's see. I do want to say some things before we do get ready to wrap it up for today. Give our peeps some props at Duquesne Pilsner, guys. Go grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. It is now available in 6 packs and 12 packs at Giant Eagle in cases wherever cases of beer are sold. Mike, the people at Duquesne Pilsner always help us out in promotions and other things of such. Even if you don't drink, stop by any of their social media, hit the follow button, show them some love. The guys over there, Mike, we always have Duquesne Pilsner here at the studio on tap for any football occasions, made right here in Pittsburgh. Mike, it says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, I do want to say this. Go check out, if you haven't, go check out our social media, Mike. We are all over the place. We're on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Go over, hit the follow, keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had the chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, the sub, share, even leave a comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, I'm going to pass it over to you. A little brief summary to wrap us up, and then we're going to get out of here. Mike, today we did talk about Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Jonnu Smith being gone, some free agency scoop. What stands out to you about the news that we talked about?
Just the Aaron Rodgers once again dominating the news cycle for the Steelers. Will he? Won't he play? Will he? Won't he come back to the Steelers? And the pipe dreams of getting a different style quarterback in here, like a Kyler Murray or Malik Willis. At this point, I'm leaning towards one of those two to be a bridge quarterback, and then you continue to develop Will Howard if you think he might be the guy. Let Mike. I would rather, if I'm a Will Howard supporter and thinking that he'd be the future of the franchise, I want him to sit for another year learning under Mike McCarthy, because Mike McCarthy shaped Aaron Rodgers. They totally broke down his throwing mechanics and rebuilt him back up to be one of the greatest throwers of all time. I would want Mike McCarthy to do that with Will Howard if I think Will Howard's
Here's the argument with that, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Rodgers was such a talent. He was highly looked at out of college, coming out of Cal. I remember I was working with a guy named Aaron at the time where I worked, and he always went on and on. Aaron Rodgers, this guy, he's going to be something. You're going to know him. He's going to be a big thing in the league. So he was already, possibly a phenom before.
Yeah.
He just happened to be on a team that was able to put it together finally after a bunch of years and win a Super Bowl by 6 points. So again, yes, he had a great career. Yes, he is. But at the end of the day, how much of that credit can you possibly give to a coach or a coaching staff? Otherwise, maybe that team should have won more championships if you wanted to give credit to the coach itself.
Yeah.
This guy here, he was going to have a great career. This guy here was bound to win a Super Bowl at some point in his career. So again, I don't know how much credit I give to the developing Aaron Rodgers when it comes to Mike McCarthy, but okay, we'll take the narrative and run with that. It seems like something that people like to talk about and say, but at the end of the day, again, California, Mike, I knew this guy was going to be good back when he was in college, and he could have went to any team and perhaps any coach made any coach look good by just being himself, going out there and getting it done, and that coach could have said they developed him as well.
The thing is, though, you look at the way he played quarterback from college to the way he started playing in the NFL once he became a starter. It's a night and day difference.
It's the same guy.
Same guy, but
the
throwing mechanic.
And when we tell you something else different, I bet you his high school career looked totally different from his college career. Absolutely, that's I think a no-brainer. You want that to happen, obviously.
They made him so much better from when he was drafted.
All right, that's why Dak Prescott never got to the anything. I don't know. Again, I'm just saying it's awfully inconsistent to say 1 year of this great success was because Mike McCarthy helped develop the guy. I think that he would have done well anywhere else. But again, hey, let everyone make their own decisions here, Mike. Let's jump on the board. I don't want to leave anything out. You know me. I want to bust through these last few before we do get going for the day. Let's go right here to Fuggin' Derpy. That is one somewhere. Mark Maloney says Fuggin' Derpy. Steelers freak Johnny says Ben has 4 chins. You know what? We did get a few of these. Mark Malone, 500. We got that one. Let me scoot up here. Okay, there it is. Tyrone says Cody's mad he's not an OSU fan.
Mhm.
Also, Corey, don't drink that says Browns have a new quarterback for every season. Tortilla. There we go. Okay, here we go. I'm caught up now. I'm pretty sure I could have run the Browns better over the past 30 years. Corey, what if Cleveland's owner is trying to collect quarterback souls to stop aging? Baker effed him up, so he had to collect 3 last season. Gotcha. Mark Malone says keyboard duster. John, I think Watson is going to force the Browns to play him. He plans to sue. Tyrone, good show. We love you too, brother. Always great, my man. Always great having Ty on board. Ty says Alex Highsmith for second, third next year so we can trade up for quarterback next year. Vegas says Watson wound up on Maury Povich show. You were not the quarterback. Then he runs off the stage screaming and crying. And who could be the quarterback that comes out that is the quarterback and they start fist fighting? And maybe Malik Willis.
There we go.
Let's see. Tyrone says hope Omar starts making moves. I do too. Get a Duke, Cody says. Also, Mark Malone, no way, man. He's either ready or he isn't. Mark Malone's draft a guy to compete is what he's saying. Steeler Freak John, good point, Mike. Mark McCarthy is going to be there 5 years. There is time. Cody says, Ryan, good take. Cody says, that was awesome. Also, Tyrone says, Mike McCarthy will cook on the field and grill. Cody says, I felt the build-up coming. And I do think that is all of them, guys. Thank you so much on the terrible board. I do want to say this. I want to say thank you so much for everybody coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. You guys, we wouldn't do it without you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. As you always make things interesting here on the show. You are the lifeblood of the show. Thank you so much, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody at home, whether you're at the gym, whether you're in the car, whether you're at work, listening, watching, whatever the case may be. Thank you, too. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time, like for the Friday installment of the show, to get ready to head into the last weekend before we get into free agency. Again, Mike, Monday at noon, tampering period. Wednesday at 4, free agency kicks off. And guys, again, 49 days, just 49 days away from the draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I couldn't be more excited, Mike. So much stuff still to go on in this offseason, and it already feels like so much has happened to this point. Hiring a new coach, hiring a new coaching staff, the combine. We've been through all this, Mike, and again, there's still so much more that's going to mold this team. All the stuff that we can't wait, and we've all been waiting for, is the stuff that's coming up next.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Draft and free agency. This is my favorite time of the year. It's just so much going on, not just for the Steelers, but throughout the entire NFL, man. This is just, it's like Christmas, baby.
Absolutely, guys. So, again, we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over to head into the weekend. The Pirates, they are playing right now. They are playing the Cardinals. And, again, the Penguins, Mike, they'll be playing host to the Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7 o'clock. But we'll be on the scoop on everything that's coming through the wires for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll make sure to have it all here to talk about tomorrow. One more time, Mike. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Great show, everyone, man. Let's do this again tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll do it again tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much. We hope to see everybody then for the 2 Dum Yinzers, for Chop, for RB, for Derpy, and for Finch, for Mike, myself, and the 2 Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a safe, good Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.